Well. Gonna get them cold potatoes. The potato salad with no salt. What it do, world? What it do? Hope everybody good out there. Everybody can listen to me on all platforms. You got TikTok, Kick, Facebook Live, YouTube, X, Twitch. Yeah. You know we everywhere. Yes, ma'am. So, what's going on? There's always something going on. And I got to bring it to you. So, I'm just maxing and relaxing. Why not have a good time? And that's what we're going to do. So, hope everybody good out there. Because the world is swirling. There's a whole lot going on. As we did earlier, we did all the weather and got that out the way. So, but it's still rocking and rolling. But what's going on these lands? Yeah. Everybody got a plan until you get hit in the mouth. And so everybody's anticipating all of this great things to come. But, I got to lay out the reality. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get started.
Later, the investigation of the attack on the Capitol is ongoing. NBC News reports there are more than 200 people suspected of committing crimes that day who have not been arrested.
That is in addition to the more than 1,100 defendants who've already been sentenced. Just 2 weeks from now, some of them say they expect to be pardoned by President-elect Trump on the first day of his second term.
And we know because some of them told the News 4i team's Ted Oberg from inside the D.C. jail. Ted joins us now with much more. Ted?
Yeah, Erica and it's not just those inside the jail. Today, a lawyer for Enrique Tarrio told us the former leader of the Proud Boys, who was serving the longest sentence connected to January 6, 22 years, formally asked the DOJ for a full and complete pardon for Tarrio, saying Tarrio, convicted of the most serious charge that day, seditious conspiracy, is a, quote, proud American who was just expressing his freedom of expression. He's not the only one expected to ask for leniency. This is a committed group.
Hi, Eric. Hi, Hasi.
For the last 2 years, they've been on this corner in front of the D.C. jail every night, supporting those locked up after January 6th.
857 is how many days we've been holding this vigil consecutively.
But they say these are the vigil's final days.
Too many people count on us being out here, especially those guys that are in that building right there.
They insist Donald Trump, the man who called them to D.C. on January 6th 4 years ago,
First day. Yeah.
will keep his promise to pardon them.
On day one, January 20th, when President Trump gets into office, address the situation here regarding January 6th immediately.
The men talking to us on a speakerphone at the vigil from inside the D.C. jail are Gregory Purdy and Robert Turner.
We're not going to let them do this to us!
Together convicted by a D.C. jury in June of 21 crimes committed on January 6th. The most serious among them, assaulting police officers. 1,500 plus arrests by now. You think all 1,500 he'll take care of?
Yeah, they violated due process. They should. He should. Yeah, that's the thing. Is nobody had a fair trial.
I haven't seen that there was any miscarriage of justice or any breach of due process. On the contrary, these people got every right afforded to people in our system.
Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin was at the Capitol that day, too, and served on the January 6th committee.
A mass pardon without any explanation sends the message that if you participate in an insurrection incited by Donald Trump, you will be pardoned for it if Donald Trump has the opportunity to pardon.
The question of whether to pardon or who to pardon is not so cut and dry.
Think about that day every day.
Even for the man in charge of security that day at the Capitol, former U.S. Capitol Police Chief Stephen Son.
I think if he goes in and does a blanket pardon I think that raises a lot of concerns about the people that were really involved in violence.
Neither son nor Raskin told the I-Team they think all of the nearly 1,600 J6 defendants deserve the president's clemency.
I think what you're seeing is a lot of people are feeling that there's a bias towards some of the January 6 prisoners, that they're treated far more harshly, whether they're violent, nonviolent crimes, trespassing.
There are people who are in there for nonviolent offenses. They trespassed, they disobeyed a lawful order, maybe they destroyed property. That's different from people who violently assaulted officers. So I think there are distinctions that can be drawn, but we need to talk about it at that level of specificity.
Heather Shaner knows more than most about J6 cases.
There's a difference between people who walked peacefully, more or less, in and around the Capitol and people who violently attacked the police.
Long D.C. resident and defense lawyer for dozens of J6 defendants, Shaner says she turned down any case that involved violence on that day.
My function as an attorney was not to convert them politically. My function was to make them understand.
Shaner tells us none of her clients, who all pleaded guilty, by the way, have asked her to apply for a pardon or even delay the case until President-elect Trump takes office.
For schmucks who walked in and took pictures next to photographs of presidents and the statues in Statuary Hall and then walked out, I think it's fine if they get a pardon.
Which brings us back to that frigid corner outside the D.C. jail.
I didn't break anything. I didn't hurt anybody.
Where Dominic Box has been an inmate for a year and a half. Box repeatedly entered the Capitol that day. He doesn't deny it, and there's plenty of photos in his indictment to prove it. He was convicted by a judge in October of 6 nonviolent crimes for his conduct on January 6th, civil disorder and disorderly conduct.
I trust President Donald J. Trump to keep his word. If it doesn't happen on day one, and if it's not soon, I know it will come eventually.
Who, if anyone, gets a pardon? Complicated decision, to say the least. The decision solely rests with President Trump. Former Capitol police officer and assault victim Akinel Gonell told NBC News, instead of praising the rioters who fought us, the officers, President-elect Trump should remember the police that died fighting his minions because of his actions or inactions in his attempt to remain in power by force. President-elect Trump himself has not said anything today about the insurrection or the pardons, but has called it a day of love in the past. In an op-ed this morning in the Washington Post, President Biden cautioned Americans not to allow anyone to rewrite the history of that day, in his words, to tell us we didn't see what we all saw 4 years ago.
Well.
Now to a new.
When you wrap all that up and you put it in a nice burrito, my questions is, I just happened to accidentally delete the video, but anyways, initial reaction is, aren't those federal buildings, aren't those special buildings that are held up in the highest of honor, regardless of how any of our conduct? These are supposed to be places of middle ground and neutrality, to be able to hash out the differences within democracy, to be able to unite under the states of America. Now, all of these people who've done that and marched and done what they did, now people are pleading to get out. And the letter of the law is providing very clear indication that you broke the law. And so the law is upholding itself against all these people. And so the guy posed a question, hey, what are you going to do if he doesn't, release you on the first day? He's confident that it'll happen. He's holding on to, great glory. But what if it doesn't come within a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? It's a very interesting question, because you have many of these people who are locked up and, don't pass go, don't collect $200. They're not in the workforce. They're not able to contribute to society. in any capacity right now. And so, who are you going to hire? That's my questions. When you have people committing, the worst, and then the worst of the worst, and then the worst of the worst of the worst crimes that are out here. Who are you going to hire? Are you going to hire these worst of the worst and worst of the worst of the worst? Because by the historical context of the HR departments, that's something that's looked upon, and you give a background check. These people have paperwork now. All of them have paperwork now. Paperwork. You have to keep that in mind. So when you think about American crime right now, the level and the letter and the severity of those crimes are starting to hold weight, hold precedence. People starting trying to get hired and need a job, and people going through divorces, so they need a job, and things like that. It's a very big beef stew that's brewing. It's in that crock pot, and it's brewing. It's flavorful right about now. I'm just showing y'all what's going on. Can't get mad at me. That's what I've seen. So even with Biden, because these numbers are down, you have people who are pleading to get out of jail, prison, because it's very bad in jail and prison. And so all day and night, people have to live like this. And so Biden, has released, let's see, instead of guessing it, we're going to go ahead and just go directly to that and see what that number is, because I don't want to sit there and lie about that number. The list of people pardoned or granted clemency by the President of the United States is this America. Okay, these are not too bad. Ulysses Grant. Oh, you got up there Andrew Johnson. Oh, you got up there 7654, 7654. Interesting number. At least if it includes thousands of pardons for ex-Confederates, issued 654 other pardons. So 1332, 1107 estimate. These are estimates. But hey, we go all the way down here. Franklin D. Roosevelt, Herbert Hoover, Dwight Howard, Dwight Eisenhower. But we go down here and it's Biden. He got rid of 8,064. Wow, that's a lot. Pardoned his son, Hunter Biden, in December 2024. Includes government officials such as Rita Crundwell and the judge who presided over the kids for cash scandal. If you don't know about that, the kids for cash scandal centered on judicial kickbacks to two judges at the Luzerne County Court of Commission Pleas in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania in 2008. Judges Michael Conahan and Mark Ciavarella were convicted of accepting money in return for imposing harsh adjudications on juveniles. Wow. He commuted 37 out of 40 federal death sentences to life sentences, with the exception made for those convicted of terrorism or hate-motivated mass murder. So that's what that was. That's Mr. Good old Joe Biden right there. Yeah, Mr. Smushface. Mr. Smushface went ahead and let out 8,000, gumbo pot of whoever. And a lot of these people weren't, in a lot of people's eyes, especially the victims and the families of the victims, felt like they shouldn't have never been released. So you have many people who have a major difference and change of heart when it comes to these things. So, and these particular people that are getting out, You know, hey, are these people going back into the workforce? No. People on probation and parole, and they ain't got nowhere to go. The majority of the time, they got family that left them alone. And obviously, they commit crazy crimes. It ain't just that easy to come to knocking back at a family members. Hey, I just got out and I need some help. And no, they like, damn it, I got help. I need help myself. Shoot, you don't know what I'm going through. So it's pretty daunting out here. It's pretty daunting out here, you know. And people think it's just, you know, sweet, but it's every generation that's getting hit.
Facing a new workplace challenge. Gen Z are entering the office, but the fit is not perfect. These young workers raised during economic boom times, work-life balance and personal interests, a far cry from the collective grit of their Gen X and millennial colleagues. Employers in China are struggling to bridge this gap. Now, according to recent surveys, over 56% of Chinese organizations struggle with communication barriers and expectation mismatches between generations. Managers must go beyond simple instructions to engage Gen Z employees. They require careful explanation of the why behind tasks, as well as how the work fits into their larger worldview and the company's goals. The emerging trend is not limited to only China. In 2024, in the US, 60% of companies fired a Gen Z new hire within weeks of onboarding. A staggering 65% felt that Gen Z workers show entitlement, and 55% struggled with their reaction to feedback. And almost 33% of employers questioned Gen Z preparedness for the demands of full-time work. Europe is not immune to this either. A study shows that 40% of employers have found Gen Z to lack professionalism, while 50% questioned their work ethic. And as many as 60% have had to adjust expectations to match their unique demands. From China to the US and Europe, Gen Z is changing the workplace in unexpected ways. The question remains, is this a generational shift or a revolution in how we work?
Well, how are we working? Is people working in America? Because it doesn't seem that way. It seems like a lot of people really going through some stuff in America right now. And it's not just Gen Z. That's what I just want to point out. I know that it's particularly specific about, you know, Gen Z right now. But I don't want people to, you know, take their eye off the ball. Because at the end of the day, whether it's Gen A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it is taking place, and it's taking place now. It's going hard and fast. So, I don't know what you want to sit there and fluff up. Like, people ain't really out here struggling. People out here really struggling. People have to face so many different battles, uphill battles. Just to, you got, what, $12 for eggs? Something like that. It's a horrible process. Montgomery County homeowners now prepare for fight with insurance companies over tornado damage. And
tornadoes blew through the area 1 week ago. Troy Class has the homeowners in Montgomery County are recovering after devastating tornadoes blew through the area 1 week ago. Troy Class homeowners in Montgomery County are recovering after devastating tornadoes.
Devastating, not not just a little gust of wind. It's just it wasn't your it wasn't your grandma's dandelion breeze. This was a full-on get in the basement and buckle up and hold on to your bootstraps. Damaging.
Blew through the area 1 week ago. Troy Class has the story from Splenda tonight.
Instead of a roof, a tarp is currently covering the garage of Joseph Corona's home behind me. Next step in his recovery is going to be fighting with his insurance company, a fight that likely many residents in this community will have to face.
It's a horrible process that nobody ever should have to go through, because you lose what you call home.
Joseph Corona now protecting his home from the elements.
Put the tarps up. We were trying to mitigate any additional water damage that could happen over the next week. There's not much you can do. Half the roof's gone.
Part of the roof peeled off after a tornado damaged his home and many others across southeast Texas. Throughout Montgomery County, damage assessments have been completed. 40 structures completely destroyed, with more than 300 sustaining damage. Debris pickup has begun, according to Montgomery County emergency management officials. A small debris pile now laying in Corona's front yard.
They weighed a lot the last couple days. Now it's kind of like, okay, this is my reality now.
He says an insurance adjuster has submitted an initial offer to pay for repairs, not close to what it'll take to rebuild.
Good. The insurance company has to put your house to the way it was prior to the incident. But there's going to be step-by-steps that are painful, and they don't get emotional.
Even though his damaged home is still in his heart and mind. As for the wintry weather that we're expecting next week, Montgomery County emergency officials telling me that they are watching and monitoring the forecast. Next week, they are also expecting further assistance with their tornado recovery.
Yeah, it's piling on top. And when he's down,
Dealing with noisy neighbors is nothing new, but one couple says some people that live nearby shouldn't legally be allowed to live there, and they can't get anyone to help them fix the problem. WSCT's J.C. Caldwell visited with that couple in Southport. What exactly is going on here?
Well, Fran, the couple says some people experiencing homelessness have been living in a camper next door, damaging their property and littering. It may not seem like much to you, but the owners say it's all part of a bigger issue.
This is what we're dealing with.
It's not a junkyard.
yeah, that's pure hell. Yeah, that's everywhere around the country. I see it.
It's been pure hell.
It's what the property next to Lisa Clemens and her husband's home in Southport looks like.
Nobody wants this to be in their neighborhood. No one.
Clemens says it's not just the trash, though, that's been frustrating them.
We're out there burning again.
She says there's a group of people experiencing homelessness, living here and starting fires.
I couldn't believe they were in my backyard.
Sneaking onto their property and damaging the fence.
This is the shed they were trying to get into.
And stealing from neighbors as well.
This has been going on close to a year now.
Which has built up some tension.
There is nothing here, and you're not supposed to be here. Okay?
And created some hostile situations.
It's not your property. Get the up out of here. It's not your property.
It's not your property either. Clemens says law enforcement has been called to the property over a dozen times.
And by other neighbors as well. Not just me.
There's a disturbance out here at 40. What's the address here?
But she says nothing has been done.
Why are they not doing their job? No one is supposed to be living here like this.
Officials with the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office say they only have one report of a deputy being called to the address, and no one was on the property.
So get the out of here since you know everything.
Call the cops.
Get the out of here.
Call the cops.
That clearly wasn't the case when I visited.
What they filming?
The people I saw had admitted to living on the property in a camper with the owner's permission. But even if they did have permission, the county ordinance states no one is legally allowed to live in a camper in a residential area.
Why are they still here?
Which leaves the Clemens wondering how much longer they'll have to live with it.
We just want to live in peace. That's all we want to do.
Officials with the sheriff's office did say if people were caught living on the property, they could be charged with trespassing. And if they're damaging property, they can be charged for that too. John?
Well. It's getting a little sticky. It's getting a little sticky out here. I don't know about you, but it's getting a little sticky out here. It's people living on top of each other, on top of trash. And they're okay with it. Truly. New York, first U.S. city to have congestion charge. The first congestion scheme for vehicles in the U.S. has come into effect in New York City. Drivers will pay up to $9 a day with varying rates. $9 a day. Hold up. Yeah, hold on. We ain't finna just skip past that. Hold up. Yeah, hold up. Nope. That's $3,285 per year that New York residents are going to have to pay up for a congestion fee or tax or whatever that is that they got going on. Yeah, that much. That's how much they're going to have to pay. So, okay. Yeah. So you're getting taxed everywhere. You got congestion. What is that? A congestion charge? And you got to pay the toll for the bridge? Oh, wow. Yeah. With varying rates. The system has been in operation since midnight. 400 lanes of traffic are now covered by more than 1,400 cameras, which more than 110 detection points and more than 800 signs. President-elect is among those resisting the scheme. But Mr. Lieber said he was confident agreements with the government would stand up to changes of administration. The congestion zone covers an area south of Central Park, taken in such well-known sites as the Empire State Building, Times Square, and the financial district around Wall Street. The scheme aims to ease New York's notorious traffic problems and raise billions for public transportation network. New York State Governor Kathy Hochul made the case for a congestion charge 2 years ago, but it was delayed and revised following complaints from some commuters and businesses. The new plan revives one scheme that she paused in June, saying there were too many unintended consequences for New Yorkers. Most drivers will be charged $9 once per day to enter the congestion zone at peak hours and $2.25 at other times. Small trucks and non-commuter buses will pay $14.40 to enter Manhattan at peak times, while much larger trucks and tourist bus will pay a $21.60 fee. Wow. Hours after the scheme begins, traffic was moving briskly along the northern edge of the congestion zone at 60th Street and 2nd Avenue. Many motorists seemed unaware that the newly activated cameras set along the arm of the steel gantry above the street would soon send a new charge to their easy passes. Wow. Drivers are going to start to see the toll charges appear on their Easy Pass bill in a few days. Wow. The charges has encountered plenty of opposition. Are you kidding me? New Jersey State Agent Chris Smith said, the ideas was this, Kathy Hochul, for being ignorant. The most high-profile opposition has come from Trump, a native New Yorker who has vowed to kill the scheme when he returns to office this month. Local Republicans have already asked him to intervene. Congressman Mike Lawler, who represents a suburban district just north of New York City, asked Trump in November to commit to ending this absurd congestion price cash grab once and for all. A judge denied an 11th hour effort on Friday by New Jersey state officials to block the scheme around grounds of its environmental impact on adjoining areas. Last year, New York City was named the world's most congested urban area for the second year in a row. Vehicles in downtown Manhattan drove at a speed of 11 miles per hour during peak morning periods in the first quarter of last year. Among those welcoming the scheme, yeah, I think the idea would be good to try to minimize the amount of traffic down and try to promote people to use public transportation. Yeah, so that's where you are at with nickel and diamond everybody. So yeah, everybody's not having a good time. You got people who are having to resort to many different ways to have to make it and survive. That is just pure fact right now. You got people having to do whatever they got to do. And it's coming down the pipe that, okay, you got these guys get in office and they get the hoorah and everything like that. Yeah. You get people that get the hoot and hollering, saying what they're going to do. And it's like, okay, are they going to actually do what they say they're going to do? You know? And the answer is no. Because have they shown it? No. No, they haven't. So keep getting hyped up.
I've been told that for a long time.
Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No, can't assure you. You're talking about Panama and Greenland. No, I can't assure you on either of those two. But I can say this, we need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for military. I'm not going to commit to that. It might be that you'll have to do something. Look, the Panama Canal is vital to our country. It's being operated by China. China. And we gave the Panama Canal to Panama. We didn't give it to China. Well, we need Greenland for national security purposes. I've been told that for a long time, long before I even ran. I mean, people have been talking about it for a long time. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it. But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. That's for the free world.
Mr. President, if we were to work under the assumption that you're serious about making Canada the 51st state of the United States, the leader of the Conservative Party in Canada said,
maybe he won't win. Maybe he will. I don't know.
You had suggested, Sir Lopez, you said you were considering military force to acquire Panama and Greenland. Are you also considering military force to annex and acquire Canada?
No, economic force. Because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. You get rid of that artificially drawn line, and you take a look at what that looks like. It would also be much better for national security. Don't forget, we basically protect Canada. But here's the problem with Canada. So many friends up there. I love the Canadian people. They're great. But we're spending hundreds of billions a year to protect it. Please.
President, thank you. Wanted to touch on the world on fire that you mentioned, but let's start, if we could, with your references to Greenland and the Panama Canal. Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No.
And can you tell us a little bit about what your plan is? Are you going to negotiate a new treaty? Are you going to ask the Canadians to hold a vote? What is the strategy?
Yeah, I can't assure you. You're talking about Panama and Greenland. No, I can't assure you on either of those two. But I can say this. We need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for our military. I'm not going to commit to that. Now, it might be that you'll have to do something. Look, the Panama Canal is vital to our country. It's being operated by China. China. And we gave the Panama Canal to Panama. We didn't give it to China. And they've abused it. They've abused that gift. It should have never been made, by the way. Giving the Panama Canal is why Jimmy Carter lost the election, in my opinion, more so maybe than the hostages. The hostages. Well, we need Greenland for national security purposes. I've been told that for a long time, long before I even ran. I mean, people have been talking about it for a long time. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it. But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. That's free world. I'm talking about protecting the free world. You look at, you don't even need binoculars. You look outside, you have China ships all over the place. You have Russian ships all over the place. We're not letting that happen. We're not letting it happen. And if Denmark wants to get to a conclusion, but nobody even have any right, title, or interest. The people are going to probably vote for independence or to come into the United States. But if they did do that, then I would tariff Denmark at a very high level.
Well. We got we got shakedown everywhere, huh? This is Shake America, huh? This is American Shakedown, huh? This is the American Shakedown. This is the American Shakedown. Oh, yeah. We ain't done. We ain't done with none of that. We ain't done with none of that. We're going all over the world with this.
A lot of trouble. Very dangerous place. And we're going to be announcing a future date pretty soon. We're going to change because we do most of the work there and it's ours. We're going to be changing sort of the opposite of Biden, where he's closing everything up, essentially getting rid of $50 to $60 trillion debts. We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which beautiful ring that covers territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate. And Mexico has to stop allowing millions of people to pour into our country. They can stop them. And we're going to put very serious tariffs on Mexico and Canada, because Canada, they come through Canada too. And the drugs that are coming through are at record numbers.
Well, he is just shooting at the hip. He is just bang, 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 bang. Because he says so. Because he's white and he says so. While all of this is going on, yeah, you got a lot going on. I'm telling you folks, you just got to catch everything. It's just so much of the crime.
Thank you for your work. Thank you. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You know I'm the face of the city, bitch. That's why you mad.
Well then. Well then. He had a cane. Can't be mad. But American crime, right? Is it not? Are we not dealing with American crime? Are we not seeing the more upheaval of just I'm white and I say so, and I can do what I want, and you know the later laws is not being taken into consideration? No, they are. Everybody's saying what they need to say. Everybody's saying what they need to say, just like this guy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Scott Jensen, and I am not exaggerating when I tell you, if you're a patient, your doctor, your insurance company, your hospital, we can all get paid more if we make you sicker. And I think you need to understand that. This patient's on Medicare. his insurance company will get paid more by Medicare if this patient is seen as more sick. There's all kinds of incentive plans being doled out by insurance companies and government programs to clinics and providers and healthcare systems. For instance, one of them that you may have heard of is if a clinic can hit a certain threshold level of patients taking a certain kind of vaccine, they get paid a chunk of money for each one of those patients that took the vaccine. So it's not uncommon to have like an influenza vaccine incentive program. And say you have 1,000 patients that could potentially qualify. Well, if you could hit, say, 60%, you might get this amount of money per patient. If you can hit 80%, they'll give you this much. Literally, doctors can get tens and tens of thousands of dollars on an annual basis for an incentive program as simple as that. Here's another one. If we can call you diabetic based on some parameters, even if we're not treating you with a medication or didn't really do anything for you, if we can call you diabetic and we do a test called an A1C. Now, if we do an A1C and we get a 6.8 reading, that allows us to call you diabetic, even if we don't do anything for you. And when a person has diabetes, generally a doctor or a clinic will get a good mark if they can keep that person's A1C less than 7.5, sometimes less than 8, sometimes less than 7. But if you can call someone a diabetic with an A1C, Hi, I'm Dr.
American crime, right? Everybody getting what is that? Change of heart. Everybody's saying what they need to say. Don't worry, I wasn't gassed on my seat. But everybody got to change your heart now? Just American crime, huh? We're just going to run with it, huh? We're just going to keep on going. No, we ain't going to stop.
Here.
We just going to keep on going.
Important today, because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US. So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now, we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high-severity violations. And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action. The problem is that the filters make mistakes, and they take down a lot of content that they shouldn't. So by dialing them back, we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms. We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down. Fourth, we're bringing back civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed, so we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive. Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas. As we work to promote free expression, I think that it will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams. Finally, we're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more. The US has the strongest constitutional protections for free expression in the world. Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there.
What? So we got American crime. It looks like it to me. Looks like it's smelling just like it is to me, right? It looks that way, right? Just everybody, all the big dogs coming out right now? Everybody just got something to say now. Hey, it's just the year of the snake, huh?
So they built a wall, but threw bricks behind it? Why do the bricks fall apart like that? Fake walls in China, just wood and some wallpaper. Now, tofu drag is a common thing in China. Sometimes they also use things like foam for the wall. That's definitely to cut down on material cost and cutting corners. Subpar material is everywhere, and that's why you see videos like these. Poorly made buildings, they're designed to not last long, but to give the achieved and, that high GDP number. Looks very nice on paper.
So, no. Crime is just not in America. It's just not in America. But they want you to believe that, though. Everybody want to keep opening the damn mouth. Oh, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, you're doing that. No, okay. Okay. Acting like we don't see it. People want to act like they don't see things. People act like they don't want to see things. Ooh, California quietly ending single family zoning, allowing 4 home plots. Oh, wow. So all of a sudden, everybody can get away with stuff now. As soon as the new year kick off, everybody want to get all frantic and get all kicked up in gear. They're quietly doubling down on this termination of single family zoning, ending loopholes that allow municipalities to block an earlier state law designed to let owners build 4 homes on existing single family lots. So, yeah, you're trying to change the monopoly board now. Reported earlier this year by the Wall Street Journal, fewer than 500 homes have been built since 2021. Wow. Was law since SB 9 was passed, allowing owners to split their single family home lots into 2 and build 2 homes on each new lot. Cities quickly passed restrictions to SB 9 properties such as Temple City, requirement that 1,000 square foot courtyards be constructed to create distance between housing units, and Redondo Beach won a lawsuit against the law when a judge found it cannot apply to charter cities and does not meet the purpose of providing affordable housing by not requiring that SB 9 homes be income restricted affordable housing. It's always a lot. I gotta speak on this so much. In order to justify SB 9's interference with the municipal concerns of land use and zoning regulations, the legislator cannot rely on potentially eventual decreases in price resulting from increased housing supply to demonstrate that SB 9 would increase the supply of affordable housing. According to the chorus finds that SB 9 is neither reasonable access to affordable housing nor narrowly tailored to avoid unnecessary interference in local governance. Under the California Constitution, the state's 126 charter cities, I didn't even know that there were that many, 1 plus 2 plus 6 is 9, okay, have substantial power over municipal affairs. So I need to know what is these charter cities? No, don't go to it. I didn't say go to it. Oh, that's boring. Why would you do that? Why would you do that to me? Why would you do that to me? Yeah, that's why everybody is leaving California. But it's crazy because you got these fires that just cracked off right now too. So, what was I just at? They got charter cities affairs so long as they do not violate the state's constitution. With Ken's ruling in effect, lawmakers moved ahead with SB 450 as bills signed into law by the governor in the fall that significantly reduces the power of local authorities to reject SB 9 projects and defines the state housing goals with regard to charter cities' power over municipal affairs. This is deep because this is just not California. This is a lot of places they tried to get away and maneuver through a lot of the red tape. And now that it's coming back and biting everybody in the butt because now they realize that, oh, snap, we got family members coming back or we got to do this, but I don't want them living on my property though, So, but now the whole damn property is getting burnt up. Now people are really getting it up outside. It's crazy. This is about to be so bad. And it's saying, they keep saying, oh, there's a housing shortage and all that stuff. No, it's because a lot of people, y'all, the one man's trash is another man's treasure. And a lot of y'all don't want to even abide by that because y'all just want y'all easy bake oven, Mr. Potato Head put together, homes already furnished, all this stuff. It's like, no, you gotta build from scratch like your grandparents. If you don't want to do it, then hey, you're just gonna have to pay the price. If you want to sit there and live in some luxury, you're gonna have to pay this big old price. It's a big old price now they putting out on everything. So they just racking it up on everybody. So that's what y'all doing to each other. Now you gotta became a doggy cage. Now, now y'all salivating over the last little bit of cricket crumbs. It's like, wow, that's what it's turning out to be now. So yeah. Following its passage, many cities enacted highly subjective standards that make it impossible to use provisions. So I just wanted to bring that to the attention that now they wanted to start bringing us into attention where this particular law is trying to allow people to get away with a lot of cities, like we used to have our own, contractors and stuff like that, and not even allow them to actually build on these properties like this. We had already been trying to even make this happen. We'd have been all right if that was the case, but no. People starting to struggle, and now you're starting to try to find ways to be able to maneuver and get around some of these things. You're trying to maneuver and get around some of these things. But when you look at it, you're starting to see American crime. You're starting to see American crime. And it's very prevalent. And you ain't getting away with none of this stuff, man. Yeah, it's everything is being showcased and highlighted. It's not, nobody's getting away with it. Regardless of how much they may try to cover it up and not want to talk about it or anything like that. No, it's out here now. And it's not just one place. It's just not one incident. No, these are definitely multiple. This is definitely multiple. Can't believe the fires is going on in California. I'm not even in that area, but I know it's bad. There's a lot of people that are about to definitely deal with some really bad wind down there. So one of the videos I had, it just disappeared. That sucked because they was going to tie this in, and some of these videos just disappear, and I don't know what happened. It's unfortunate, but planes are still crashing. He lucky that thing didn't flip over. But that's what we're getting to, where everything is crash landing. Yeah, we ain't finna sit here and go past nothing. We ain't finna get past nothing because it is really serious all over their world on how bad it is. It's crime. It's it's the big hustle now. Very used to all of that. Yes, I do. Using it for educational purposes. So people can know this. So they can know what's going on. Really, Japan firm working to attract and retain skilled foreign workers. Why everybody trying to run over here for a job? It's like, okay, if these folks ain't getting hired over here, then who's hiring over here? If these people getting locked up, then who's getting hired over here? Okay, now all of these other countries is running over here, so who's hiring them? Japan. As labor-strapped Japan faces a growing exodus of foreign workers due to low wages and other employment challenges, some companies are working overtime to keep them from leaving. So these companies are about to go bankrupt just trying to keep these people, and they're not going to be able to make it because nobody's going to be able to buy the products because they're going to have to raise the products. It's a very negative spiral going down. Eaton Holdings, manufacturing and seller of frozen foods, is among a growing number of businesses reliant on their foreign workplace taking significant steps to retain them, as finding suitable hires has become a top priority. By offering furnished rental homes, Japanese language assistance, and affordable access to its many cafeterias, the firm aims to ensure its valued foreign workers feel perfectly safe and comfortable staying on the job for as long as possible. Hey, brothers, Japan is hiring. Japan is hiring, brothers. Brothers, brothers, you over there. Brothers, they hiring. No, don't go over there. Don't do it. Instead of working, you could be owning them. If you hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he fought the battle of Jericho. Yes. Yeah, we're going to get back to it. We make sure we help foreign workers whenever, be it medical or financial issues or anything. Works in the human resources section in a food company operator on the Osaka Osho gyoza dumplings chain. We want to always be there to resolve any problem at any early stage. Their first impression of our company is very important. So many companies are jockeying. She is part of the team assisting over 370 foreign workers at the company representing 7 countries. These include technical trainees and holders of the Specified Skilled Workers Visa, introduced in Japan in 2019, which allows them to work in designated industries without prior training. The company offers generous financial allowances, including a month's stipend for workers who pass a Japanese language test, substantial support for housing rentals, and coverage for food expenses to help offset the rising cost of living due to inflation. The company also emphasizes motivating foreign workers to enhance their skills and pass the exam for the special skilled worker number 1 visa, which permits up to 5 years of residency. It further encourages progression to the number 2 visa, which offers unlimited renewals. Opens a path to permanent residency and allows workers to bring their spouses and children to Japan. Why wouldn't y'all offer that right off top? It ain't working out. Y'all ain't doing enough. It ain't going. Mercury is going to be in the mist this whole year. It's not going to be enough. It's going to be too fast and too overwhelming for any of these companies. That's why everybody's rushing out to get ahead, to try to get ahead, but you still fell behind because you already jacked up. You're already caught up and you messed up. And it's going to show, very much so. The company's efforts have paid off, with 16 out of 18 applicants successfully passing the exam in October 2024, earning them the number 2 visa in the food and beverage manufacturing industries. Among them is 32-year-old Vietnamese employee. See? Yeah, but it ain't no American. They didn't say nothing about no American. Huh. Who asked to be identified by her name, family name, Gwen. She acknowledges the challenges of studying, but expressed her desire to contribute to the company as long as possible, adding, "Everybody has been very helpful to me since I joined." The university aspiring to learn more about Japanese cultures. So they want you to move there. You ain't got with your family. You gotta match the probation. You gotta pass the probationary period. Attracted by its higher wages and good reputation, she had heard about from these compatriots. And you got to understand that there's a lot of stuff going on in that area, trying to attract people right now. It's hard to attract people when you got volcanoes and earthquakes going on right now. It's kind of hard to do that. I'm gonna just keep it 100. It's going to be very kind of hard to do that. They plan to admit 824 nationals under its skilled worker visa. So you're trying to bank out on a bad horse at the Kentucky Derby. It's just going to be criminal on themselves. That you're going to see all of these different countries bankrupt themselves trying to keep up. They won't be able to keep up with all of everything. It's literally going to be like concentration. Concentration is to again keep the rhythm. Yeah, it's going to be literally like that. It's going to literally be a very bad loop for them. It's going to be driving a lot of people crazy. How fast things are going to be coming up. And because of that, people's are just like going over the rail. People are going over the rail. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to think. They don't know how to feel. They don't know where to go. It's a population crisis. It's a very bad population crisis. It's not just in China or Japan. We got it over in Russia. Russian students can now get cash payments for having babies as Kremlin struggles with birth rate at catastrophic lows. Now, fortunately, ain't gonna let me read it, but that should say enough. That should say enough that this is going on. Quiet is kept, but these are the things that are going on. These are the things that are going on. Just got finished talking about what's going on in Italy with Vatican and Rome and trying to bring more people back there. Yes, this is a very interesting time that we are living in right now, that you are starting to see all of these countries shimmy up to try to get themselves together. And it's not working. It's not working fast enough. You don't have enough resources. You don't have enough people. It is just too late. It is just too bad, too sad. It's going to be a lot of people who weren't paying attention, who were so focused on being emotionally driven and caught up in the loop that now you're getting flushed down the toilet with the rest of the little shit droplings. That's what's happening right now. So while these shit droplings are getting flushed down the toilet, who's to fill the rest of that void? Who's to fill the rest of that void? There's a lot of things going on around the world where, hey, we gonna need this. We gonna need the ovens to get opened up around the world now, because many of these countries now see that this is a major inventory problem right now. It is too risky for any of these countries to go to war, knowing that their populations cannot reproduce. It's going to be that hard to even convince anybody. That's why they want peace right now. You see how fast that happens? Oh, Trump is going to bring peace. He's going to calm everything down because it's needed to. He can't calm everything down. It's already going. He's just trying to get people to get more, just accept it more, get more acquainted with it. Maybe in a subtle, even if they don't know, but yeah, they're going to find out eventually that, oops. All of them are finding out that, oops, or at least you see some people trying to step down because it's just too heavy for them now. You're seeing Trudeau step down because there's things in that Canadian land that they did not want to tell us about. Now you got Trump talking about Greenland and Haiti and all these different places. Well, all of a sudden, now you just want to go and excise lands and take lands now. You just going gun hole. While everybody's trying to sit here and posture up like they got the army to sit here and do what they say they want to do right now. Any one of them try to start some stuff right now, they run the risk of losing all of their inventory, period, right now. So they all trying to realize that we need to save up and stock up and kind of stop the boats from sinking right now. They're trying to get everybody to stop what they was doing, cooperate, and get all hands on deck to grab a bucket. The Kremlin has used its deep financial reserves to prop up the economy since invading Europe, but Russia appears to be finally feeling the weight of wartime pressures. Ain't no telling. This ain't no telling. This is the Moscow Times in March 2022. The Russian invasion of Ukraine was unfolding. Yeah. Will the Russian economy go into recession when you having a massive amount of stuff going on over there? Hey, who knows? It's a lot of things that's showing signs of slowing down. This is just not them. You have every country that's going through this right now. Every country. You see, they've been going back and forth, and these people don't want to be involved in it, but they are involved in it. And then just regular people that's just trying to live their life. It's cold as shit out there right now. Ain't nobody trying to get out in no cold trenches, being all in no war and being all mucky and all that stuff. Ain't nobody trying to do all that. But that's what y'all doing. That's what y'all love. That's what y'all enjoy doing. It's not just you, it's everybody else. And with all of this going on, everybody's still trying to hold on to great and grand glory. And, oh, we're going to build these big mega China walls and stuff like that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They just had an earthquake right here, y'all. They just had an earthquake and you trying to build over. They just had a fire and all throughout Southern California, and you trying to rebuild over. Asheville just got flooded all the way out. You gonna build over? Milton just dragged everything out. You gonna still build over? You got many people that still think that they can still put all this stuff off. No, you guys are finding out the hard way, and that's what I think y'all just need to find out, is just keep finding out the hard ways. Keep finding out the hard ways. Anyways, these folks. That's global. That's that global crime. American crime. Citizen Property Insurance, Florida's insurer of last resort, has dropped tens of thousands of policies in the past week alone. You talking about people losing everything that they have, for one. Everybody losing everything that they have. And the one industry that they supported every month, every year, paying in, it don't have a back. Damn. The insurance was more, they bet was acting like they was their best friend more than their family was. And they got played hard. Oh, they got played so hard, y'all. Oh, this is so bad. This is about to be so bad. As it continues its depopulation efforts to stabilize the Sunshine State, shaky sentiment. Over the week ending December 20th, the non-for-profit company dropped its policy count from 982,892 to 935,948. Getting closer to its goal of reaching a total of 900,000 policies by the end of the year, according to the new data published of Citizens Web. Florida Florida's insurer of last resort, which offers policies to those unable to obtain them in the traditional has grown massively in the few past years as private insurers cut coverage across the state or withdrew from it entirely. That means that the state potentially is only one very bad storm away from seeing its homeowners insurance market be completely upended. Wow. Wow, I didn't know that. While Citizens is funded by policyholder premiums, Florida law requires that the company levies assessments on most of the state's policyholders should it experience a deficit following a particular devastating extreme weather event. That is, unless more is done to stabilize the sector, including depopulating Citizens. And encouraging private insurers to stay in the market. So what's happening is that these folks is definitely -1 away, and that it is definitely showing up that it is bad out here because people lost everything across this whole country, across the whole world, and are now really feeling that they have no backing or no safety nets that they had invested so heavily and trusted and felt so secure in. And that security has created very, very fragile insecurities in people right now, very much so, to where they have had to steep to drastic measures. People have had to steep to drastic measures. These are the cities and states where people have to get up and move and haul themselves. These are the cities and states that gained the most residents in 2024. U-Haul released data showing South Carolina and Texas are gaining more residents than other states, while California continues to lose residents. Based on data from U-Haul involving 2.5 million moves, South Carolina topped the list of states people relocated to across the state lines, knocking Texas off the top spot. Texas had topped U-Haul's list for the 3 consecutive years prior to 2024. South Carolina and Texas were followed by North Carolina, Florida, and Tennessee. Indiana, which was ranked 27 in 2023, jumped to number 8. Wow. Oklahoma jumped 30 spots from 41 to 11 to number 11. Colorado had the largest drop, falling from 9 in 2023 to 40. Wow. California topped the list of states with the most net departures, followed by Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. It was the 5th year in a row California had been the most departures in the U.S. State-to-state transactions reaffirmed past year tendencies have been pronounced for some time. U-Haul migrations to the southeast and southwest continue as families gauge their cost of living, job opportunities, quality of life, and other factors that go into relocating to a new state. Out-migration remains prevalent for a number of markets across the Northeast, Northwest, West Coast, and particular California. The South dominated the list of top cities and net arrivals. Dallas ranked number 1, followed by Charlotte, Phoenix, Lakeland, and Austin. Boise, Idaho was the top ranked city for net arrivals, not in the southern half of the U.S., coming in at number 17. And that's an interesting place, that Boise, Idaho, that just popped up right now, because there's there's not a lot of people that look like us out there, but there is a lot of people that look like us out there too. At the same time, we are seeing unprecedented growth in Dallas, both within the city and also suburbs like McKinney, Plano, and Addison. Excuse me. The cost of living is also extremely reasonable throughout the whole metro. Job growth has led to wages and earnings going up, and tax breaks have led to a lot of people moving to the area. The U.S. Census Bureau released detailed estimates of state-to-state migration every year, but 2024 data is not expected to come out until the fall. The Bureau's 23 data showed that Florida gained over 600,000 residents, while Texas added 611,000 residents from out of state in 2023. That is compared to 500,000 who left Florida and 478,000 who departed Texas. Meanwhile, California lost 690,127 people to other states while gaining 422,075. Over 93,000 people moved from California to Texas in 2023 compared to nearly 38,000 who moved from Texas to California. Yeah. So everybody's just doing a big old, just, the big shuffle and ain't getting nowhere. Because wherever they going, they ended up in some more shit. Wherever they going again, they ended up in some more shit. And you go here again, oh, you ended up in some more shit. Oh, you want to leave the country now? Oh, go ahead and go get in some more shit. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. I see. New York Times and LA Times always doing that junk. It's all good. But that's what's going on, y'all. That's what's going on. I couldn't pull that one up, but it was is America just going to abandon its towns falling into the oceans? So that's what the article was, pretty much going off of the erosion of all of the weather, jacking up everything and causing these towns to be kind of like emptied out. So it's like a utopia. Young people in China are escaping the rat race by fleeing to youth retirement villages, mirroring quiet quitting in America. Are young adults being pushed too hard? American millennials aren't the only ones trying to escape the rat race. In China, young people are heading to youth retirement villages, whether for a weekend, a few weeks, or much longer. These countryside retreats are havens for young adults looking for a break and a chance to improve their mental health. Yeah, that's what's going on, y'all. So I just want to bring it to, I got to wrap. I'm bringing it down. China's stagnating economy has made the job market overwhelmingly competitive for students entering the workforce. That same pressure is out there too. Young workers are often face long commutes, long shifts, and the relentless churn of work. They're working hard, yet still can't achieve their life goals. Sounds familiar? In a country where many young people are pushed to overachieve, there's now some pushback against that expectation. The youth retirement village is like a utopia. Kong lives in Guanyi, working remotely and setting his own schedule while taking part in organized activities, like including painting, hiking, and horseback riding. Oh, you just got that much time to be doing all of that, huh, now? All that for the equivalent of about $420 a month for room and board, less than his rent in Beijing. Other youth retirement villages have popped up around the country where young people can go for morning strolls, play mahjong in the garden, and do arts and crafts. Some residents are long-term remote workers, while others are short-term guests. And some stay on as a volunteer doing chores for free room and board, lying flat and quiet quitting. This is similar to the sense of delusionment seeming rampant in the U.S., where elsewhere, as young people question traditional workplace culture in China, the term is tangping, which translates to lying flat. It refers to slowing down or opting out of the rat race. Tangping. Tangping. It's not exactly the same thing as quiet quitting in the US, but it's rooted in a similar sense of delusionment. Quiet quitting refers to doing the minimum amount of work required to keep your job. It's not about being lazy. Rather, those who feel overworked, burnt out, and underappreciated simply disengage. They don't actually quit their job, but they check out emotionally. So, for example, they don't come to work early or stay late, and they don't attend non mandatory meetings or work functions. Employees' engagement stagnated. Yeah, while overall well-being declined, only 23% of respondents said that they were engaged at work, with 62% saying they weren't engaged and 15% saying they were actively disengaged. The result is that the majority of the world's employees continue to struggle at work and in life, with direct consequences for organizational productivity, according to the report. Yeah. Found the well-being among workers under the age of 35 fell from 35 to 31%, which isn't very high to begin with. This isn't good for the economy either. Yeah, that's what y'all did. The best quality of life is so important. Yeah, y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't believe in it. But we're just going to keep going. The majority report feeling that they're connected to the role at work, but acknowledge that a stressful job simply isn't worth it. Oh, 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 wow. Nah, I ain't trying to hear all that. Are young adults being pushed too hard? Yeah, I'll let y'all answer that. Yeah, yeah, sure. Found that 34% feel burnt out at work, 45% emotionally drained from their work, and 51% feel used up at the end of the workday. Did y'all sign up for a job that y'all like went to school for and all that stuff? So how are you burnt out about a job that you were passionate about doing? Like you got all in a suit and tie and a dress and all that stuff. Did the college interviews and everything, and you were forced to do it? No. I don't know. You got to make it make sense. I don't know. You're not letting me know. Anyways, I just wanted to bring that one little point that we passed by already, which was, yeah, that's how bad it is for the young and the old. And it's not just, we're just not going to skip past that and not notice that. Oh no, we're going to notice that. We're going to notice that. Tang ping. We're going to notice that tang ping. She ain't giving no tang pang. She smelled like that tang pang. Just lying flat. I ain't never heard that. Oh man, that's funny. Just lying flat. You just lying flat. You are just lying flat. You tang ping. You tang ping. You tang ping. You tang ping. Oh. Yeah, that's crazy. But that's what is going on over there in these workforces. All of these places are jacked up to where they cannot be able to take care of the people they have. It's not incentivized. It's not encouraging. It's just that bad. It's just that bad. I can't even sit here and sugarcoat how much it has been stressful for other folks. No, it's not just the way it just got people with no more energy, lackluster. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to be involved. Checking out all of these medicines, all of these different activities. Just no purpose. So I can't avoid not posting it and showing it because this is what's happening. And because of that, when you got the world not on your side and things are driving you loony crazy, it will cause you to do some soulless things. It'll cause you to want to do crazy things to yourself and to others that you love, that you say you love, and you wind up just going off of the meat rack. People just starting to go off of the meat rack. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know. That it's just people going off of the meat rack. People's road rage is out of control. People's attitudes is out of control.
Let's go! Get out of the fucking car! You want to run my fucking ass? Get out of the fucking car, that bitch! Get out! Get out! I didn't touch your fucking car, you dumb bitch! You were on my gun! Come and touch me, cause my man's right fucking there. Come and put your fucking hands at me. I ain't driving crazy. Your bitch was on my goddamn ass! I went to fucking other lane! Get out of my face! Bitch! My dad!
That's not your man no more. Martez, whatever you doing? You texting that other bitch. Wow. He just ultimate warriored her. He just in it. Yeah. That was all the way from the beginning. So we're in the snow, right? It's cold outside. You're shivering. You're trying to get to where you need to get to. And, you know, this person just stops in front of you. She skidded. She did Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift in the snow. She did GTA 5 stars. She pulled up in San Andreas saying, "Give me my ducats."
Let's go! Get out of the fucking car! You want to run my fucking ass?
She had her arms out like Michael Jackson. Like, "Annie, are you okay?" Not okay. Are you okay, Annie?
Get out the fucking car, that bitch! Get out! Get out! I didn't touch your fucking car, you dumb bitch! You were on my gun! Come and touch me, cause my man's right fucking there.
She said, "Come and touch me, because my man is right there." I'm looking at where he could have been. I don't see him. I don't see him. Where could he have been? Are you? Is this the Whoopi Goldberg movie Ghost?
Come and put your fucking hands at me. I ain't driving crazy. Your bitch was on my goddamn ass.
And her breast stank. You know her breast stank. And she all in his face. He like, "Damn, ugh, you just fucking knocked me out with that stank."
I went to fucking other lane. Get out of my face.
Get out of my face. She changed right there. She cocked back and threw a shitty punch at a man. Ladies, stop trying to hit a man knowing that, yeah, most men can take a punch, for one. And that's just, keep your hands to your damn self. This is an emotional this is a global insecurity temperature check that's going on right now. I got people wilding out. I got people reacting and going in right now. Wow.
Bitch.
She got a good hit on him, though. It's good call him a bitch. You can't call no man no bitch, though. You can't punch with the call no bitch, though. I'm just telling you, you just lose. It's on camera right now, like obviously, but. Montez was nowhere to be found. Montez was nowhere to be found. Montez got to be like 4'11". He like, I'm not getting out of this motherfucking car. I'm not finna go fight this man. He 5'5". I'm 4'11". I'm not finna go up. I don't know why you come around this neighborhood messing with these people. You want some too old man? No. I don't know why you come around here messing with these people. Montez. He wrestles or he watched some UFC. He knows what he was doing right there. Montez. Where are you, Montez? Montez, you ain't come to my rescue. I'm a damsel in distress. I need help. I'm falling and I can't get up. I'm a damsel in distress. Yeah, she reenacting the first day she met Montez. Montez, I need you to come help me off of this ground. Yeah, that man knocked some damn sense into you real quick. That's why Montez was like, thank you, God, for sending this man in his SpongeBob SquarePants pajamas in a coat. Thank you for just knocking some humility in her. She needed to get that, her hard head make a soft ass. And I think she cracked the concrete because her head sounded like a lollipop, a jawbreaker. One of them, how many legs do you get to the center of the Tootsie Roll Pop? Like crack. She made the earthquake. She the reason why these earthquakes, her head alone caused all of the earthquakes in Nepal right now. That's how bad it was. All I heard was a ding dong. They just created a whole aftershock after that. I don't know. The world is in danger after that big ass head bouncing off of the ground like that. That was cannon. Let me stop. Yeah, let me stop. But that's what that wrath is getting you right now. That wrath is getting you way out of character, way emotional, and triggered by any and everything. Ain't no telling what she was listening to. Ain't no telling that she was in an argument. It's just a whole lot of stuff you talk about, like on somebody's behind. Yeah. But that's what that anger is getting you right now. Anyways, we're going to get off of her. Montez. That's American crime right there. And he drove off. He left the scene. Got some more American crime for you. Legendary boxer promoter Don King slapped with a $3 billion fraud and defamation suit over Rumble in the Jungle 2. Yep. How many people that he just taken down to the gutter. Yeah, I ain't even gonna read too much into that, but I just wanted to showcase that. But that's another form of that American crime. That all skin folk ain't kinfolk, y'all. Oh yeah, he's known for all of that good old stuff, but that's the face of American crime too. You know, taking the bag and wearing the trinkets of Judas, you know, all the way down and all go all the way down, blazing glory, going down all the way down going down all the way in the boat, sinking down, it don't matter. But these thoughts that are in these particular individuals' heads, those thoughts are starting to weigh very, very heavy now. Those thoughts are starting to weigh very, very heavy. That's what we're getting to now. To where a lot of people aren't getting to this feeling right now. That's where people are at right now. These folks are getting to that they get into that phase right now. And just as much as you got that going on, boy, it ain't enough. It ain't enough, y'all. Definitely ain't enough.
It's an already bizarre scene. A shirtless man walking up to the back of this home in Liberty Hill, collapsing on the ground.
I was at home with my family and my 2 children, and also the nanny was here.
But soon, things took a dark turn.
The guy stood up with the machete and started walking towards the house.
The homeowner says the moment he saw the man with the machete go up the stairs and try to open the door is the moment his survival instincts kicked in, and he thought of the only thing he can do to protect his family.
I ran upstairs, and luckily there was a firearm in the house, and I grabbed the 9mm and came downstairs.
And you can see the moment he confronted the man with his weapon.
Thankfully, he chose to just drop the machete.
It's an already...
Yep, that's American crime. Just I can come and squat in your shit whenever I want to. You're my I'm your neighbor. This is my privilege. This is my pretty privilege right there. Oh, that's your privilege. That's your pretty privilege. Oh, you really think that you got pretty privilege? Oh, well, let's see how much pretty privilege you get off of this then.
Developing this morning, a woman is in critical condition after she was shot in the chest. Police say that's because she refused to leave a family's property. Well, the shooting happened around 11:30 yesterday morning off Bradford Avenue. That's near St. Mary's University. Police say the homeowner was working on a car when a woman walked onto his property. Well, the man told her to leave, but she continued to ignore him, even going up to his door when he told her he had a gun. Well, the homeowner told police the woman doesn't live in the neighborhood, and he's seen her lurking around neighbors' yards, and he thought she was going to rob him. Well, police say when the woman refused to leave, the man shot her in the chest. She was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. No, we're not sure if that individual is facing charges this morning, but we know that homeowner was taken in for questioning. Developing.
He's taken in for questioning, so now his day gets all dejected because this random ass crazy person just came and just disturbed your peace. Just wanted to just come into your home and your place of peace. Like, this dude came in with a whole machete and no different from her. He refused to want to leave. Like, I'm going to squat in your house, and I'm going to squat on your toilet and take a nice dookie because I've been out here in the woods eating twigs and crickets and berries and shit. And and I've been holding this dookie in for 72 days, sir. And I just have to, you're my neighbor. You're my American neighbor, and I just need to take a nice big dookie. So won't you be my neighbor and let me just hop over your fence and just take a dookie with your kid in the other room right there. Don't mind the sounds, and definitely don't mind the smells. The smells they're just natural. Just take it in, just take in the pheromone. You might actually learn something from these pheromones. I actually turned out to be a man out here in these forests just because of these twigs and berries for 72 days. There's oh, man, what is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? This is what's going on. This is American crime. This is what's going on. People are desperate. People are desperate. They're doing whatever they can and want to do and thinking they can do it over again and again and again. That's what you're seeing over again now.
Arrested again for the same crime at the same store. It seems Marlena Velez didn't learn her lesson after her initial arrest just over a month ago. Velez was caught flaunting $500 worth of goods from Target on her TikTok. This time, police say the she'd stolen household goods and clothing valued at $225 and recognized her due to her prior arrest just over 1 month ago.
Call my dad, call my grandma, tell me to call my lawyer now.
Yeah, they're doing the crime and they're doing that crime for clout. Call me mom, I'm doing it for now. Get it. Call my grandma, call my mom. I'm good. Lady, you just got caught on camera with the little sticker trying to get away with the crime right now. Ain't no getting away with no crime right now. And these people are desperate, so they have to convey that they have to conform to that because that's what they've seen out of. I guess we've shown the examples of how to be gangster and all this stuff. That's why a lot of people are copycatting us. You know, they biting that culture. That culture is just dripped off in other places, and they look like they just like got it's like the poorest performance of it. It's like the poor version of it. It's like the knockoff. It's like you go to Albertsons or you go to Kroger's or something like that, but then you go to like Aldi's or the 99-cent store and you get that knockoff Kool-Aid, that drink aid. It ain't even Kool-Aid. It's drink aid. It's more it's more chalk powder than Kool-Aid. Yeah, she TikToking with all that time behind them bars. That's what she about to find out too. That Barbara's in there and wants to braid your hair. She wants to braid your hair, Marlena. She's not going to let you out of her sight. She thinks you're a little darling. You want to steal things from stores. She wants to steal your heart. She's never going to let you go because it's the first time she's ever seen you. So yeah, but that's what's going on right now.
Hands up! Turn around. You have an arrest warrant. Turn away from the side of my voice. Yes, for you.
Who am I?
Turn
away.
Turn around. We'll discuss.
Turn away. You're gonna get hit.
This innocent grandmother is still feeling the effects of the shocking incident.
Thank you. Hey, do you know who I am? Yes. Well, you're gonna step around. Who are you? Carol Rozak. That's not who I am. Penny McCarthy. Yes. Yes. But I've never been Carol Rozak. I can prove who I am. Okay.
The woman, whose name is Penny McCarthy, was arrested because U.S. Marshals believed she was wanted fugitive Carol Rozak, who has been on the run from an outstanding parole violation dating back 1999. According to the deputy U.S. Marshal in Oklahoma, they first believed that 70-year-old Rozak digital fingerprints matched 66-year-old McCarthy's.
And I haven't done anything.
But after a full fingerprint analysis was done, this was debunked. An Arizona federal judge later dismissed the case against McCarthy, but not before she had spent time in prison over the mix-up.
Yep, our people did a lot of that. Our people did a lot of time for things that they did not do. And they found themselves having to go through this whole process for no damn reason. And so you're starting to see these people get hemmed up and getting processed for no damn reason. And it's because a lot of them were still in each other's identity. A lot of people were still in identities. And you're starting to see that really come to the forefront right now. It's very interesting times right now.
This instance. And this morning, new video right here is.
Oh no. Oh, this one is it.
Showing the moments of a woman who has had run-ins with the law in the past, finding herself in trouble once again after trying to flee from Albuquerque police. Last August, officers were investigating a white Tesla that was seen near the Hilton Hotel in downtown. When officers approached the car later on in the day, they say that the driver tried to flee. Police later identified that driver as Leanne Aragon and said that she drove around one police car before crashing into a second one head-on. Well, the impact of the hit pushed that police car into a third patrol unit, injuring an officer in the scuffle.
All right. Yep.
10-4.
This is not Aragon's first incident with the law, nor has it been her first time hitting a police unit with her car. Back in September of 2017, told you about her striking an officer's car while blowing through a red light in a stolen vehicle. Aragon is now facing charges for aggravated battery on a police officer for that latest incident.
Damn. She does not like the cops. She is definitely they got it. She got it out for them. She got it out for them. Good Lord. We are not done. We're just getting started. This is crazy. This is wow. That's American crime, y'all. Like you could do whatever you want and ain't gonna suffer no consequences. You could just run right into a cop car. Like that's federal property, isn't it? You get extra time with that. Yeah, she looked like the dragon from the how to train a dragon, or how to train a dragon or something like that. She looked like the actual dragon. Wow, ain't that something? Maria. She remind me of that crazy story.
Santa Fe police arrested a man they say stole more than $20,000 worth of diesel fuel. They say this happened this afternoon at a Speedway gas station near I-25 in St. Francis. Officers arrested Alfredo Fonteboa Echevarria from Albuquerque. Police say he had a pretty elaborate scheme, altering one of the fuel pumps to give out more fuel than it could calculate. Now, on top of that, they say Echevarria modified his truck to contain an additional fuel tank. Officers say he pulled this off multiple times over the last few weeks to run up that total. They also arrested his wife on conspiracy charges.
There's a certain
Yep, when you mix in with all the other ones, not all skin folk is kinfolk. So that's what you're getting right now, is that people who are still doubling down and dipping into thinking that they can go along with the same crimes that 83 have gone on and gotten away with for such a long time. Like, people are realizing that you are staying on the craps table a little too long. And because of that, you are getting super burnt.
More about a Pawtucket man accused of stealing a Providence police cruiser on Saturday. Learning more about a Pawtucket man accused of stealing a Providence police cruiser on Saturday and driving all the way to Connecticut. Providence Police Commander Timothy O'Hara tells us an officer was working third shift when the cruiser was stolen from outside Rhode Island Hospital sometime after 1 in the morning. 27-year-old Jared Remsen was slated to face a judge in New London today. Connecticut State Police say he led troopers on a chase. They pulled him over in Ledyard. Remsen's charges include larceny and also reckless.
Like, how are you going to get a job when you're doing stuff like that? Who you going to hire? Who's going to hire when you're doing things like that and people have a disdainment for things like that? Okay, you're doing something for, against the cops that may be supportive of the cops or something like that. You never know what people may be thinking or feeling. And when you're going about life like that, it's like, they're going to question everything about you. They're taking everything they could possibly take, and they're being shown that, hey, you can't just break the law and think that you can just get away with things. You just can't break into people's homes and think that you can get away with that these things are not going to be shown up. People are not going to hire you. They can't trust you. You want to rob, you want to steal. You're doing every single one of the 7 deadly sins or the 10 commandments. It doesn't matter. You guys are fulfilling every one of them. And you're going all the way out of your way to just sit there and do them with no shame, just shameless. Just shameless. Just damn. Who's your mama? Who is your mama? Just like this, man. Who is your mama and who is your barber? Let me bring it back, y'all. Why y'all being so funny? Why y'all? I thank everybody, y'all. Y'all know that I be finding stuff. I just be finding stuff, man. It just pops up. It shows up in front of me, and I gotta show it. I gotta show it.
Jessica, authorities say the suspect in this case is a person of interest in many other cases as well. 47-year-old Fabio Armelio was arrested Friday night after a resident found him in the basement of a house on Cherry Street in Somerville. According to police, Armelio is a person of interest in 12 recent breaking and entering cases in the Powder House neighborhood of Somerville. They say he was targeting residents and Tufts University community members beginning back on December 20th. Now, in addition to all of those cases just mentioned, Armelio has 20 outstanding arrest warrants in multiple jurisdictions for crimes ranging from breaking and entering, larceny, assault, and making threats. Armelio has been in custody since his arrest on Friday. He is expected to be arraigned this afternoon here at Somerville District Court. Reporting live in Somerville, Todd Kiskevich, WC.
I mean, I'm just saying, you got 20 different things going on. Who wants you on a job? Who wants you in their neighborhood? You trying to rob your neighbor? Do you love thy neighbor if the devil's next door? You over here trying to rob everyone you work with. You trying to rob the job, and you trying to rob everybody who work at the job. You trying to rob everybody who work at the job who lives on your block. You trying to rob your mama. You just a scum of society, huh? You just a scum of society, yeah. And that's the way they're perceiving their own people now. It's like, I can't. That's just embarrassing. Oh my God, Peggy, ugh. It's just, ugh. That's what it's gotten to us, ugh.
It was a very, very scary and traumatic situation.
Jared Messer was approached by police just before 1 Saturday morning. It was an area on South River Road in Bedford where there had been some recent thefts. Police say that Messer attempted to flee and was tackled by an officer. He then allegedly attempted to grab that officer's gun and went off, striking 24-year-old officer David Benway Fungami in the leg.
He's doing well right now, resting at home.
Messer was allegedly tased a couple of times by police with no effect. Another officer also punching him in the face, according to the affidavit. But it wasn't
Damn. Hold up. Jason Statham looked like he got his ass beat. Jason Statham did not make it. The cops transported an ass whooping to Jason Statham. This conehead ass really thought that he was not above the law. They got shown that he was below the law, and he's below and under the jail now. He tested them, and they tested that big ass Jurassic Park dinosaur head. They beat his ass, turned them cameras off. They sat there and they took him in the back of one of them cornfields. We're gonna show you these children in the corn. Then the dog needed to subdue him, because you don't know what type of drugs these folks be on. Like, you're aggressive. Don't nobody want to work with you. Like, you're on the substance. We don't know where. Like, people are a bad choice for American working, for American companies.
to the affidavit. But it wasn't until a police dog came along with a third officer that officers say Monsieur was brought under control. During the struggle, Monsieur allegedly put the dog in a headlock.
Canine Odo is doing well. I've spoken with his handler. The handler and the canine are doing well at this time.
Monsieur was
Ooh, that boy looked beat up.
with a woman at the time of his arrest, but so far no charges have been filed against her. As for the police department, morale has improved since they got the word their fellow officer was going to be okay.
The officers' spirits are up at the
Why he looked like a white Damon Wayans.
department right now, doing everything they can to help out, with the investigation as well as his well-being, with visits, phone calls.
Like a white Major Payne.
All sorts of checking in with him at the current time.
In addition to the 10 charges he faces in this case, Monsieur also has outstanding warrants and charges in several other jurisdictions. He will remain in jail until his probable cause hearing next.
I'm just saying, you got 10 and you got 12 charges and all these different things and all of these. You go, hold on, what did they say? He said you got how many? Run that back.
Outstanding warrants and charges in several other he faces in this. In addition to the 10 charges he faces in this case, Monsieur
In the case that he's got 10 charges of Michael and a man.
also has outstanding warrants and charges in several other jurisdictions. He will remain in jail until his probable cause hearing next week. Report.
Yeah, so you committing all of these crimes in all of these places, like you just bouncing around. You're gonna be in the system for a good time. Just or even being on probation, all of that. When the moment that they even flag you on your background check that you're on probation, any of these things, the companies are not going to want to take that much of a risk on bringing you on and hiring you. Even companies and jobs that you could possibly be working at, maybe like a steel mill or something like that. Yeah, like you're around heavy machinery. There's no telling if you may get aggressive and want to hit somebody with a heavy tool or something like that. Like, yeah. Yeah. They definitely feeling the burn right now. This dude, who's gonna hire you? Who's gonna hire you? Even in the midst of that, even if it's a regular job, even if you are the actual person of prestige that we look at.
Cody Stolfa in court now for a second preliminary hearing, and he faces more than 30 counts in Payne County. Dental surgery employee charged with assaulting unconscious patients appearing in court. Cody Stolfa in court now for a second preliminary hearing, and he faces more than 30 counts in Payne County, including sexual battery for allegedly violating victims who were recovering from dental surgery. That hearing set to start here at 9, already underway. We'll track any developments and bring them to you as they come in.
Yeah, you choking out dogs. You can't choke out no cop dog. You can't choke out no canine dog. Oh, they don't play that. Oh no, you getting 25 to life just because of that. So yeah, he got, and you already doing all this other stuff. Oh yeah, they not playing with you. Oh, they not playing with you. And this one right here with the dental surgeon assaulting people unconscious. That's like, you got to know who your dentist is, man. And it's like, I don't know. It's like you got somebody playing in your mouth like that, and you knocked out sleep. You on some laughing gas or something like that, man. You got to be even more careful. You don't know what these people going through in their own personal life to be even acting out here. You know, this was funny to me. I had to pull this up because this is just how doofus McBeernut people are out here. Hey, that's what your ass kid. Like I'm just saying, like you didn't even see this. Like you're on the bike. You're supposed to be seeing everything that's around you in front of you. You're just supposed to be much more alert. You don't see this car as you're riding on a bicycle towards the scene. You don't see that, oh, interesting. There is a white car that's very visible because of its whiteness. It's on its side. I think I should slow down. Matter of fact, I should go in an opposite direction so I don't get caught up in the obstacles of it. This dumbass go right in the middle of the damn crime scene. Almost gets smashed by the car as it gets tipped over. Luckily, the guy was right there to stop it. But you run right into the rope. It should have just took your damn knucklehead ass off. I don't get people. I'm glad that person honked at him. You know I gotta laugh at stuff. I just gotta laugh. I've seen it. I was like, oh, here we go. There we go. We got so much going on, but that's American crime. That was an American crime on stupidity. Because stupidity ain't that stupid. It ain't that as stupid as that. Stupidity ain't that stupid as much as that. But this is surveillance footage showing would-be assassin showing up at Nick Fuentes' suburban home, ready to do some stuff. Like, you got people tripping. He's clearly white. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo, Nick.
Calling Nick. These people are trying to break into each other's houses and stuff like that. Knocking on the door nice and gently. Going around the whole house. You don't know who's outside your houses and all of that. People are really trying to get in your house and do all of this craziness. He looking under the rocks to try to find the keys and all that stuff. See how crazy people, man? Boy. boy. People are ready. They are ready to do it. They are ready to go. These people are taking whatever wrath they are on each other. This is American crime right now that we're dealing with right now.
You're the mother. That's your responsibility.
Yeah,
to
I
keep
need
your
you to
child.
not talk to me, please.
That's
Okay,
for sure.
Soren, give her a call. Last time I checked, it wasn't illegal for a kid to walk to the store.
It is when they're 10 years old.
It is?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to see that on the books.
Okay. Well, you'll see it on your warrant. Okay. Turn around for me.
Why?
Because you're under arrest.
For what?
For the incident we talked about earlier today.
What am I under arrest for?
For reckless endangerment.
And how was I recklessly endangering my child?
We're not talking about it.
Soren, call mommy and tell them.
That's where it's getting to now. Like, they don't want to hear your shit no more. Like, they have to measure their own morality to their own now in the particular fashion of, hey, you have crossed the code lines now, and it's frustrating and embarrassing that I have to actually enforce this on you to conduct and behave even more. But the fact that you're even trying to waive that privilege in front of me, like I haven't used it, but it's not going to work because you're here for a reason. We're here for a reason. And so that pretty privilege is definitely going out of the window, and it's showcasing itself up very much so now. The world is finally seeing what all of this white supremacy is coming back and biting people all the way in the ass.
They're taking you to jail because you decided to walk down the street.
Let go of your hands.
That's not his fault.
Yeah, call mommy.
You're the mother. That's your responsibility.
Yeah,
to
I
keep
need
your
you
child.
to not talk to me, please.
That's for
Okay,
sure.
Soren, give her a call. Last time I checked, it wasn't illegal for a kid to walk to the store.
It is when they're 10 years old.
It is?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to see that on the books.
Okay. Well, you'll see it on your warrant. Okay. Turn around for me.
Why?
Because you're under arrest.
because you're under arrest for everything now. They're getting arrested for every little thing now. Like, these things are not cute. These are things that are not cute in their workplaces now, because you're a liability now. You're a social liability. So yes, it's very difficult to even hire these people now, because socially you are being prosecuted amongst the public now, because everything is on camera now. So yes, you have inconvenienced the comfortability, and you have compromised the shield of white superiority of people being able to, yeah, it's that deep, y'all. So it's just going over and over. It's just that much of a harsh struggle. It's not you're allowing your kid to walk down the street. My mama said you couldn't go past that street light. You couldn't go around the corner. And Miss Mabel, she was on the corner. So she knew that if you passed by, she flagged your damn mama down. He went around the corner. So no, there was unity in the community. You couldn't just go doing none of that unless you had somebody else with you, and you better not say no, just stranger danger. It better be 2 or 3 of y'all walking to the store to go get me some bread and some milk and some milk and some eggs, so I can make y'all some dinner tonight. And even in the hood, it wasn't going down like that. But when y'all do that stuff, y'all let y'all kids go. They like to go and play and go into the forest and get candies from strangers and stuff now.
Let me take you back to August 15th, 1991. Where in this Country Place neighborhood in Plano,
the abduction apparently happened in this alley.
A brazen crime was nearly lost to history.
2 little girls were playing when a man drove up in a car.
An 8-year-old girl walking to her neighborhood pool, kidnapped and sexually assaulted. She was found 5 hours later, injured in Garland.
Think she can identify the man?
Of course we hope so, but at this point we really don't know.
The case would go cold for more than 30 years.
It's a horrific thing that is just absolutely not acceptable in any way.
That is until now.
Fortunately, 30 plus years ago, offenders were able to move around a lot easier than they were able to do today.
This is Plano Detective Aaron Benzik. He reopened the case in 2023, searching for this man. He says in 2004, detectives got a match of DNA to a suspect in a Dallas case in 1999. But this time, they had technology on their side.
Hey, we have enough information. We can move forward on this case. Let's see where this takes us.
Police used evidence from the cold case and constructed a family tree based on the DNA evidence. The DNA from the crime scene matched to a woman who was in a genealogy database. The woman had 6 sons, including now 64-year-old Nicholas Ray Carney, who lived in Ardmore, Oklahoma. Police were able to confirm it was him by matching DNA from the trash he threw out.
I'm able to tell the victim, I know who your offender is, and he is going to face justice and be held accountable.
Carney was arrested Thursday. Benzik says they believe there could be more victims.
He describes himself, and his actions and his choices, they speak for himself.
It took them more than 30 years to find this man. And now, he won't hurt anybody anymore.
These kind of people can't be allowed to prey on our most protected class.
In Plano, I'm Richard Solomon.
So, well, because these things are happening and they're knocking on your front door and ending up on your shit list now, that it becomes an important thing to take care of now. And now the letter of the law that you got technology and AI is now you got AI is just literally going through all the files y'all uploaded. It's just do. We have located that you are the suspect in this 1987 crime. We have located that you are the suspect in this 1999 crime. We are, yeah. So you're getting a whole laundry list of just cold cases that this is what's happening right now. There's mega centers that are getting built to be able to allow AI to go through all of these files, these records, and to be able to tap and measure them all to each other. That's what's happening right now, to where that man he wasn't even that damn far away from where he was doing all that stuff. He was that cocky in his own. It's just. Anyways, we're gonna keep it going. That's another thing. But yeah, you will let your kids walk around and you know it's not a crime, but what he does to your kid is a crime. But yeah, horrifying moments, a stranger kidnaps. This is the stuff that's still going on, y'all. Yeah, this is American crime that's going on right now. It's definitely American crime. It's not being like looked over now. This is definitely what is on the radar for many of these folks right now. They don't like this no more. Teacher arrested after being caught caught naked with sex toys inside an elementary school. Wow. Teacher arrested after being caught naked with sex toys inside it. So he had the Skittles and the dildos. Wow. These are the people that are watching your kids. You don't even know them. These people always had some type of sexual deviant. That's just a crazy deviance. That don't make no sense. But yeah, had a whole table of goodies, American flag and everything. So proud, MAGA. He was found with all the treats, all the snacks, all the year 3000 snacks. Yeah, he had all the snacks in there. Crazy, just crazy. No compassion, no remorse.
That you sent a message saying, "Where are you?" to the police officers. This was a lie. There is no message saying, "Where are you?" We have interrogated your phone, and that is not confirmed on there. What do you have to say about this? You repeated the same account on subsequent police interviews, in that you were asleep in India's flat on the 2nd of January and that you were not aware that India had left the flat. You were also asked to confirm your previous accounts today on interview, and again you initially maintained the same account of being asleep and then changed this account today when you're presented with evidence to state that you now cannot remember. What do you have to say about that?
So boring, man.
You can.
I mean, who's going to hire that? Everything is now seen. No matter how any money these people want to sit here and act tough in their pride. Pride is the easiest, it's the first, it's the hardest sin to let go. Their ego is their amigo. The amount of desensitizing that has gone on throughout their life. The amount of desensitizing has got them to this point. It's conditioning. That even a kid, it doesn't matter for what reason. Doesn't have to be a reason. But who wants to hire that? That's American crime, that's global crime. Where you got these folks who are completely numb and callous. And so, do you love thy neighbor? This is your neighbor's child, doing this to your kid and everybody, Kids grow up and to be like this. Yeah, they don't even know it. He didn't even see it coming. Now that man gonna be paranoid everywhere he go. Didn't even see it coming. Didn't think that he would be, living in a safe neighborhood, that everything would be all good. These guys did it in broad daylight. No mask on, no nothing, just was ready to go. That's what it is for them now. It's just ruthless. It doesn't like everybody's about to get it. They not messing with nobody to look like us. They know better right now. But they're going after everybody who look like them, who is an easy target now at this point. They're just getting marked off. They're just getting marked off the board right now. People that can't take it no more, they're marking themselves off the board. People that look like get marked off the board. They're doing all of this and marking each other off the board. It's a lot of anger. It's a lot of wrath. It's a lot of greed. It's a lot of lust. You got a lot of people that just want to fight. You got a lot of the kids that just want to fight. It don't matter. It's entertaining now. Now they got it's fight brawls and fight teams and fight days and stuff like that. Where all of these kids are being now entertained by this now.
The Kaufman County Sheriff's Office is still trying to sort out what happened what started this chaotic scene in 40. Dozens of students were seen running from officers who were sent to break up a massive fight near North Forney High School. Investigators say an officer's weapon went off, and when the bullet hit the street, some of the fragments injured 2 officers and 3 teens. A neighbor shared this video showing one girl in obvious pain.
She was standing right here, and then I guess the pain got to her, and so she sat down in the grass.
Tonight, we've learned the investigation is now in the hands of the Texas Rangers.
Yeah. All these kids want to still be. Yeah, I mean, they're in a whole little bubble by themselves right now. They don't have any help. And so, any kids out there that are listening, hey, you go to school for a reason. That's your schoolwork and your homework. And everything else, all them same people are not going to be around when you get older. They're not going to be there to hold your hand. You're getting caught up in getting yourself a record for no reason for people that will tell on you. Because adults are intimidating when they have a badge and they're looking down at a kid and you're looking at your young little life like, oh no, my world's in my hands and I don't want to be in trouble. So yeah. Stop doing dumbass shit to get in trouble then. Like literally, the amount of rage and wrath people are it's crazy. It's not only in the kids, it's in the wives, it's in the husbands. People are filled with a crazy guerrilla rage right now. Like the rage and the wrath is real. The rage and the wrath is real. Can't hide it. You can't hide it. It's not finna be. That's how much it's bad. He's, they're about to go through a divorce, and she's being left with, having to hold the bag, and it's a real sad world out here. There's a lot of women that have to take care of the kids by themselves, and you got videos of moms now that are leaving their newborns, and it's just a sad world that we're living in right now. No matter how successful people are, they're getting dogged out in the most horrific ways now. Like you're seeing a lot of these people who are going out very sadly and definitely the most disturbing ways where people are like they've been so invested into these relationships that they have driven them this mad now. People are getting very emotionally triggered by a lot of things, and these people have not dealt with nothing, never did. They just masked it by things and going places and shoes and all type of stuff. But yeah, this is what's going on. It's American crimes. You know, people can't take it. They leaving their kids outside, walking away. Like that's what's going on right now. People are they can't take it no more. They can't handle it. They're leaving their kids and allowing their kids to go off and do things, and it's a reality for a lot of people right now here. It's not nothing that should be taken lightly. It's definitely showing the struggle and how significantly hard it is for these people to even maintain. And most of these people are getting shook out of being in a relationship, especially the guys. Their guys are realizing that financially they can't keep up with the societal presentation, and so it gets straining. It gets stressful now, and a lot of people are dealing with a lot of domestic situations now where they're raging out.
Star Zachary Ty Bryan.
Myrtle Beach police charged him with domestic violence. News 13's Gabby Jonas joins us live in the newsroom with the new details we've learned about Bryan's arrest. Gabby?
Yeah, Trish, Edward, the former child actor best known for playing Brad Taylor in the show Home Improvement, was arrested last week on a second-degree domestic violence charge. Now, many people who live in that area of Bryan's arrest told us off camera his arrest was unknown by many and shocked those who live there year-round. The arrest happened New Year's Day at a home on Monarch Drive. The police report says the woman who shares children with Bryan told officers Bryan choked her and punched her in the face. The report says Bryan left the scene before officers arrived. One neighbor who wanted to remain off camera told me they remembered seeing Bryan leave in a taxi before police responded. After finding Bryan, he told police he and the victim got into a fight about the victim's drinking, and he tried to take the bottle from her. The report says the victim had bruising and swelling on the right side of her face. Bryan was released from J. Reuben Long Detention Center Friday on a $10,000 bond. He was also arrested in Oklahoma in October for a DUI for the second time last year. Live in the newsroom.
Wow. Looking bad, buddy. He was on the Home Improvement show with Tim Toolman Taylor. Yeah. This is what's happening to them. It looked like she beat his ass, or that. Yeah, I don't know, but these folks is looking real bad right now. It don't matter that and all that home improvement money and all of that success and all that stuff is catching up to everybody. Don't matter. Ugly comes in all colors. So that's what's starting to show up.
Woman who was forced to shut down an illegal daycare in Antioch was sentenced today. Molly Sinclair will spend the next 60 days in jail. That's part of her plea agreement. Sinclair was charged with operating the daycare without a license. Her husband, Ron Malik, is charged with rape. Metro Police said it happened to at least 2 girls at the daycare more than 4 years ago. One mom said she sent her kids to Sinclair's daycare for 10 years, but she wasn't aware that Sinclair didn't have a license.
That she was working hard to get the money to save up to get her license. And had to do construction, she had to fix this or had to do that. There's usually always an excuse as to why not.
The Department of Human Services, DHS, says it told Sinclair 10 times over nearly a decade to shut down that daycare.
The thing is that
hard to get the money to save up.
It's their own people that are speaking out about this against them, knowing that, there's no telling what that lady did before she even had to get to conform to actually having to find a way to find a living when it comes to COVID messed up a lot of people. Ain't no telling if she was working at a bar or whatever and had to just put together something on the side to try to make it. But when you got your own people doing this to you, that's because the service is not there. And so people are trying to hold any and everything to this high standard of legitimacy that they have been under for quite some time. And because that veil, that shield of legitimacy became a very thin veil that was poked throughable, it's now starting to show the holes in what was not being seen before. So now that it's being seen now, it's causing people to be more extra concerned to be able to call out these things. And then when they start calling out these things, people getting extra specific and particular about what they see. And it's becoming so much of, Karen is Karen versus Karen now. It's literally Karen versus Karen. It's very interesting times that we're living in right now, to where, when it comes to their kids, and especially if the dude, he raped two of the daughters, two of the kids that was there. Oh, hell no. What would you do if somebody did that to your child? Obviously. So obviously she's taking it to court. And I don't know if that was that. I don't know if that happened. It doesn't say that part. It just said that the husband did that to two of the kids. That she's just a face on here. So I don't want to say that that's the case, but yeah. And what if you didn't know about it until it actually came out in court or whatever like that? So yeah, this is horrible. This is damaging. To have to sit here and really think about these things in consideration, that these people have lost a lot of what they had before, and having to settle and conform to whatever is on the table, whatever is under the table. Even if it's operating an illegal daycare, hey, I'm out here, I gotta get it how I live it. Most of the time in the hood, ain't nobody gonna be complaining about that if you got your auntie or your grandma watching your kids for you while you go to work. Most of the time, they ain't gonna have that because their grandmas is too wrinkly, and they ain't finna watch their kids like that. So they entrust each other as neighbors, not knowing that, do you love that neighbor if the devil's next door and y'all all are devils next to each other? And now all of the devils and devilment within you guys is starting to be relishing the devilment on each other. So even if you knowing that you needed to save a couple dollars on a daycare, helping out a neighbor, and he's not getting no vagina from her, and he's going to the girls. This is a horrible trend that has been going on for far too long, and it has to be talked about right now. Even more in 2025 as it is now. That's why I'm bringing this to light, because this is Ezekiel 33. We're not going to no longer tolerate this activity going on with anybody. Ugly has all colors. So yeah, black, white, Mexican, Asian, Indian, Arab, it doesn't matter. Everybody's going to be in this lunch line getting these cold ass potatoes right now, because the Most High is not playing with nobody right now. And however it needs to come out, it's going to come out, and it's going to be said. It's going to be said. So feel bad for. I don't like seeing kids having to go through that part of an experience in life, because they're traumatized and damaged after that. But when you're doing it in your own neighborhoods now, and they're doing it at a crazy. It's just crazy, because they got the whole just devilish sexual fantasy thing going on, where and doing it with your stepdaughters and stepmoms is doing it with stepsons and just incest and crossbreeding and all of these different things. And I've never just found, stepsister attractive and all just weird stuff, man. What is going on? What's going on?
Beach 3 years ago will spend more than a decade in prison now. Noah Gale, Wellington man convicted in a high-speed crash that killed 6 people in Delray Beach 3 years ago will spend more than a decade in prison now. Noah Gale pleaded guilty today to 6 counts related to that deadly crash. He was sentenced
to 12 years.
To 12 years in prison, followed by 7 years probation. Back in 2022, authorities say Gelly was driving at a speed of 151 miles an hour when his
151 miles an hour. That's 2 sevens. Wow, this is a lucky year. Ain't this the lucky year? Ain't this the year of the snake? Ain't this the year of the snake? Oh my goodness, it's just a lucky snake. This snake is just.
Car rear-ended a vehicle on State Road 7. 5 people were pronounced dead at the scene. A 6th victim was later.
He gonna get real far in prison with that haircut, with that hairdo. He gonna get real far. He gonna get party in the back and freak in the front. He gonna get freakiness in the front and party in the back.
Later pronounced dead at Delray Medical Center. In addition to that sentence, his driver's license will be revoked for 3 years upon his release.
That's crazy. The amount of trauma. That's trauma. 6 people gone. Their families is affected. Like lives is gone. Like people can't go to work again. They can't sleep. Yeah. You got people really affected by all of these things. People dealing with grief. Like in the most harsh ways. Because of the actions of their neighbors.
The Duval County School Board is scheduled to vote today on another 6-figure settlement. This is tied to the former Douglas Anderson School of the Arts teacher, Jeffrey Clayton.
Jasmine Monroe's been looking into this and has the details for us this morning. Hello, Jasmine.
Hey, good morning to both of you. So the board has approved paying nearly $1.5 million to settle 3 other complaints about Jeffrey Clayton. So today, the board will meet again to decide on another settlement for $365,000. Clayton is currently serving a 10-year prison sentence for violating a law against teachers, having sexual conduct with students, or seeking or engaging in romantic relationships. Now, according to our news partners at the Florida Times Union, the latest lawsuit claims a student was inappropriately touched in a sexual manner by Clayton repeatedly. Now, the school board will be meeting tonight at 6 to vote on the latest settlement. If approved, the total settlement linked to Clayton would amount to more than $1.8 million.
That's crazy. It shouldn't even be like no all this bonds and settlement. It's just crazy. Like if you start bringing death penalties back and chopping off wieners, then yeah, people start getting their act together. Like, oh, you ain't got no wiener? What was you doing? Where's your wiener at? Yeah. That's what's going on right now. Still allowing stuff like this to still partake. Still your kids' innocence and still from your home, and it's just literally the usual suspects. It ain't stopped.
In connection to a shooting and an armed robbery. Last Thursday, police responded to a shooting at the intersection of Sanger and Grimes. The victim was taken to the hospital where she is now recovering. Detectives identified 28-year-old Jesus Rodriguez Lopez as the suspect. They say he later threatened a man with a gun and stole his car right outside of his home. Detectives found the stolen vehicle along with Rodriguez Lopez and his alleged accomplice, 20-year-old Ezekiel Mendoza. Both of them have been arrested. Police say Rodriguez Lopez forced Mendoza to drive him to where the robbery took place. Rodriguez Lopez is now facing a list of charges, including aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, kidnapping, and armed robbery. Mendoza.
That's the faces of crime now. These are the faces, not brothers, not sisters. This is all over the country. It don't matter. Our faces are not the faces that are being seen. These are not the faces that are being affected. People like this are being taken off of the monopoly board and off of you have nobody to fill their places. You have plenty of people to fill the workforce voids, but you're no longer a viable contributor to society. So you're running up these numbers, and you've got a lot of businesses having to go through some stuff right now. Yeah, having to make some real drastic cuts and changes. They got people acting loony. They got people mad at everything and mad that somebody else got it, and that's envy. You're going to go rob somebody else because you're envious. You're jealous. You're triggered. You're mad because you don't have, and you're mad because you don't even have the strength or the capacity or the intelligence to get up and try to get it yourself. There's no honor amongst thieves, but hey, when your life gets stolen away from you, yeah, karma is getting all back taxes right now. All back taxes.
New on Now at 11, an arrest in a homicide in Center Point. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Department says Stephen McDaniel is charged with intentional murder. He's accused of killing 58-year-old Paul Newell. Investigators say Newell was shot on 2nd Place Northeast around 11:30 last night. He died at UAB Hospital this morning.
Okay. So yeah, while you got these faces of being locked up, these faces are the ones that are ending up strung out and beat up and just looking and doing all bad. Looking and doing all bad. These faces are not making it in. These faces ain't making it that long out there. These faces ain't making it that long out there. You about to be locked up for that long. Intentional. These people are not tripping about what they're doing. And then the moment that they get in there and realize that, oh man, oops, I messed up. The amount of drugs that people be on, the amount of stuff that just takes them all the way over. It starts really getting that serious. It starts really getting that deep. That people are already crossing all the way over the line. Yeah, y'all finding out very much so right now that whoever was conjured up in your ancestral spirit that just kind of reenacted itself out in whatever rage in that moment got people being exposed right now. And that exposure is very, very much so getting like tag you're getting like caught right then and there. It's not no getting away with 30 years of crime anymore. It's none of that no more. You just can't sit there and do these crimes and think that, oh, I can just live on down the street and on another state and, everything's all good. No, that's not what's happening anymore. That is not what's happening anymore. You can't just go and do what you want to do no more and think that ain't nobody gonna have nothing to say about what you're doing. No. This American crime now.
A one-way crash on Interstate 80, a deadly one, will spend decades in prison. Take a look at the scene back in April after Mason King was driving twice the legal limit and slammed into a car. 26-year-old Ross Lewis, 30-year-old Kyle Arnold died in that crash. Lewis's girlfriend, who was also in the car.
That's the face of an American cowboy right there. If that ain't the poster, that ain't the poster face for it. I'm just saying, you killing your fellow man who's a stand-up guy because you're a dickhead and you don't know how to handle your liquor and you don't want to call a damn Uber, and then you just wreck the lives of so many other people. These people are not trying to deal with being shattered. If they're gonna be shattered, they're gonna deal with being shattered in a way that they're not gonna like. That you're not gonna like. They're gonna make sure your life is uncomfortable and that you ain't gonna be able to ever be good. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna make sure that you ain't gonna never be good again. That's what they're making sure right now. That you can sit here and try to do these things and the lay of the law ain't gonna come and say nothing to you. The lay of the law. So you are doing this to your own.
Said she's had multiple surgeries and it's impacting her life.
I lost custody of my children, and I was a CNA.
Damn. You know how many times I run into people that be like this? Quick, let me get 5 minutes of your time so I can tell you about my life. And that's exactly how it just literally, they need somebody to talk to, and they look at me and it like I am the Black Dr. Phil. And I'm like, whoa, lady. I'm at work, baby. I'm on the clock, baby. If you need to tell me something, you need to sign up for these consultation fees, baby. Because if I'm going to give you some of this game, baby, to be able to get out of your circumstances and get over what you're dealing with, baby, you got to be able to pay the fee, baby. Because Kendrick Lamar said it too, that this dick ain't free, baby. This is America, baby. And I know you're dealing with a lot of problems, baby, but too bad, so sad. And if you need some assistance, I don't know how to help you, but if you give me everything you got, then, oh, you ain't got nothing? Well, shit, we closed really early today. I'm sorry, we just closed really early today. We just, this number that you calling, this black man that you're looking at right now is no longer available until the beginning of next year. You can no longer.
And I loved my job. I loved taking care of people. I can never work again. And my young
can never work again, can never do, and life will never be the same.
youngest is a year old, and I can't even watch him on my own.
Mutchler says there's not a day that goes by she doesn't think of her partner. Mason King was sentenced to 30 to 35 years in prison on multiple charges, including motor vehicle homicide.
She's never going to be able to be okay again. Every single one of these traumas, they all roll over like singular minutes. You can't call me after 9 p.m. That's when my minutes are free. This is wild. This is not just one day. I'm talking about incidences like this all over the place. I'm talking about you driving in the snow, trying to get to your, everybody doing all of this right now. And this is in every town, city, country. People so desperate to get to that rat race, and lo and behold, because they can't get to it, they're disappointment, they fail, it's shattering people. And because they can't deal with it, and they can't handle the load of even work, the simplest of work tasks, they're paying you great money to just stack diapers. That's all you got to do is stock. It's not like you're not doing brain surgery, and even if you was, nobody's gonna trust you. So yeah, one person's actions is another reaction and trickle down to you just affected this woman, took out her dude. You just affected her. She can't go to work. And now you just affected their child, another generation. They're infringing and inflicting their own loop on each other. You just rodeo cowboy looping each other into each other's stew of shit right now. That's just trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you.
A teenager released from jail tonight says that he's learned his lesson after making violent threats on social media.
Police arrested the FIU student and slapped him with some pretty serious charges for threatening messages the teen says were a joke.
NBC 6's Jamie Garola is live outside the jail in Northwest Miami-Dade with more of what he had to say. Jamie.
Yeah, after posting bond, the 18-year-old walked out of the jail here behind me. He seemed remorseful and apologized for making a bomb threat, a threat police took.
Damn, he looked like Oscar De La Hoya living La Vida Loca.
Serious.
Oh, it was a joke. It was all supposed to be a joke.
No, you said it.
But it got taken to something literal.
A joke this 18-year-old says he now regrets. It was also a joke that landed him in.
Now you got a record. You got a record. Who's going to hire you making threats like that? You don't know how to watch what the hell you're saying. You don't know how to contain yourself. You getting mad at video games and shit.
Jail for a day and could get him up to 15 years in prison.
It wasn't directed at anybody specifically.
According to investigators, Ronaldo Padron texted his friends in a group chat that said, "Bad things are going to happen," and "bombing a house today." Messages that Instagram read.
That's pretty straight damn forward to me. That's pretty self-explanatory to me.
Flagged and reported to the FBI, something Padron says the social media giant should have done.
I think it's right to do so. And if it was a different situation, it could have helped a really big problem.
Padron is charged with writing threats to conduct a mass shooting or an act of terrorism. When Padron, an honors student at FIU, appeared in front of a judge today, she warned him about making any kind of threat.
You can't joke about anything online because it's a lot of bad things happen in this world, and the police take everything seriously.
You think she's going to take it seriously when he actually does follow through with it and you're the one who actually let him through? You think that she ain't going to drink herself that be after he didn't cause a massive wreck on the freeway, car pile up and everything? You think she ain't going to drink herself? That's American crime right there. She's being biased as hell on making sure that he's able to still be out and be a viable citizen, at least to try to get his act together so they could still contribute to the white superiority industrial complex of capitalistic United Capital of America, United Capitalism of America. You think that if her, would it most likely her decision of letting him go is going to backfire?
And he should.
Advice that seemed to stick for Padron.
I think the best thing you can do is learn from it and just not repeat it, not let it repeat, and learn from the mistake that you made and be a better person. It was a joke, and it was a very bad joke, and I'm extremely sorry for making it, and I've learned all that I could in my time here, and I apologize a lot to the people that I may concern.
He should be a politician. He knew how to scoot and skate around that. It ain't enough I'm just playing to just get away with all of that, though, yo. I didn't know that was a thing. It just became a real thing. And when you got all of that going on, yeah, you just damaged all of these people's lives and got medical debt and they stressed out. And how are you going to be able to balance everything, knowing that somebody just affected your life in a physical capacity now to where they've like damaged your ability to be able to take care of yourself now. This is America crime.
We talk about medical debt now, and it is something millions of Americans are facing. It can be a huge financial burden.
And new this morning, the Biden administration has officially announced that unpaid medical bills will no longer appear on your credit report. So let's check in with ABC 15's Jamie Warren. Jamie, this is going to impact millions of people, including so many right here in Arizona.
Yeah, 15 million people to be exact, including those here in Arizona. And as you all mentioned, I mean, medical debt, it can follow you around in so many different ways. In fact, a lot of people have a really hard time buying a house because of their credit report, and they're unable to get a mortgage when they apply for it. So, you know, it could stop them from getting a house. It could stop you from buying a car if you're trying to get a car loan. It could even stop you from getting a small business loan and furthering your career in some sort of way in order to make more money. And consumer advocates have said that people can't choose to get sick or injured. So why is this debt treated like credit card debt? Our Let ABC 15 Know team recently told you about these proposed changes and how the public was able to weigh in on this over the summer. And after those calls for change, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau says it is now officially removing $49 million worth of medical debt from credit reports. And that is something that Vice President Kamala Harris said in a statement this morning could be life-changing for millions of families, saying that this could lead to the approval of about 22,000 additional mortgages every year. That means additional 22,000 people buying homes within the year. Now, the agency has said that this new rule could be taking effect sometime later this year, but we do know that Inauguration Day is right around the corner, and we're going to have this transition of power in the White House. Policy experts have said that it is possible that the Trump administration could try to scale back on some of these policy changes, but that is just something that we're going to keep our eye on and, of course, update our viewers as anything more comes out of this. But for now, Kaylee and Nick, I'll go.
I just love how she just sounds so optimistic that it's possible, that the potential, that, oh, yeah, it's that the end of this year and this year's and that year's, and no, it's just got to hold on to God's unchanging hand. But no, you're finding out that, no, you're not, that things are going to get worse. People can't wait until next year. I mean, they just literally watched their house get burnt up, and there's no insurance, and they need a place to stay, and they need to get there, and they need a place to rent. And yeah, they just lost everything, but it's showing up on their credit score, and the person who is the landlord is still saying, unfortunately, I can't, rent to you because your credit is horrible, and unfortunate that you lost everything, but I can't. So, best of luck to you. Best of luck to you. It is cold outside, and best of luck to you. Oh, best of luck to you when it's cold outside. I got the motherland. It is literally one hell of a loop. It's one hell of a loop that we're witnessing. We're witnessing people who are losing everything, taking the whole family out, not caring anymore. People just having no remorse. Their souls is gone. All of them. Just all of them.
So, I'm about to be a newly single mom, and I am in the middle of a divorce. My husband is being incredible though, like really and truly, like we're working together, everything's great, we're splitting everything down the middle, everything is good. It is a very civil divorce with our daughter in mind. and I really appreciate that.
That never used to be a thing. That never used to be a thing, y'all. It's so like being marketed to, and it's being so comfortable now to where she's so like, oh, it's cordial, like, oh, I'm going to be okay and everything like that. This is not normal in their communities.
However, you know, I'm going to be a mom, single income right now, and he will be helping with her. He will be supporting her, you know. So essentially, like, I'm really thankful for that, and that I will not have to worry so much about supporting her. However, I will be on a very limited income with buying a new house and, you know, paying a mortgage and all that stuff. So I've never done this before. I've never been on my own before. So if you have any tips, saving money and making money, anything like that, like, I would really appreciate it. Like, you know, coffee at home, you know, I take caffeine pills, I do my own hair, nails, everything. Like, I do all that.
They all have a favorite pill, regardless. However that pill is, it's a pill.
So yeah, if you just have any tips, like, I would really appreciate it, because, like, I'm a little scared right now.
We have more breaking news now. This out of Brandon, where a husband and wife are dead following a murder-suicide. According to Brandon police, the couple was found on Toulon Street this morning after family conducted a welfare check on 30-year-old Jennifer Sheffield. Family at the scene say there were obvious signs of foul play inside the residence. Sheffield and her 40-year-old husband, Brandon Sheffield, were found inside. This is an ongoing investigation, and we'll update you as more information becomes.
You don't know what kind of double lives people have been living right now. People have been operating as mules now, and people have been gambling, people have been doing all type of crazy stuff that they ain't let their wives know either. And wives been doing crazy stuff that they ain't letting their husbands know either. So yeah, those lines are gone.
I can't believe it.
And random too. Why? I don't get it.
I don't have any answer. How old is Brian? 19.
He's 19.
He's 19.
What's going on, man? Okay, so parents have some concerns of some stuff they may have found in your room?
Yeah, I believe so.
And what would it be?
A human head and hands.
Like, for real human head and hands?
Yes.
From?
That fellow who went missing recently.
Which fellow was that?
Warren Brown.
Warren Brown? When did he go missing?
The night of the 27th.
The night of the 27th? Okay, and how did you end up with him?
I murdered him.
With what?
A knife.
Why would you have done that?
I've always wondered what murder felt like.
That's the way y'all think, and that's the way y'all feel. So, as an American business, as an American company, is that the type of person that you're going to hire with this type of crime going on rampant? People flying off of the meat rack who can't handle themselves. You know, you're going to keep continuing to hire your own like this and allow your business to be jeopardized because you got some psychopath that don't know how to deal with just the simplest of life. Because you're not going to hire black folks, and you ain't going to give us the money that we were deserving of, and anything black folks touched was Midas. Look at all the Cadillacs that's still all around. Yeah. I mean, you're not trying to hire Mexicans because you're trying to boot them all out. And you're mad at all the Indians being over here and anybody else who's Haitian, the Middle Eastern. So who's going to do these jobs? I mean, obviously you got Wally with the whole, the dancing robots now. Many of these companies are going to have to pivot. They're going to have to come to the realization that, damn, we got to hire those black folks. Damn. And we got to pay them more. Damn. But because y'all don't want to do that, and y'all still don't want to do that. And even now, how black folks feel right now, we just don't feel like working for none of y'all because it's just kind of pointless at this point. It's just kind of funks up our vibe. It kind of just, it's a doo-doo stain on our wallet because we can actually do better without it. We have our own malls, our own grocery stores, our own banks, our own daycare centers where you won't be seeing all of these things going on because we're not going to be playing around this time around. Anybody who's conducting themselves and trying to touch little boys or girls, you're executed right off spot. I mean, that's just the way it's turning out to be because we're in spiritual court that people are finding out their karma is coming to them right then and there. So all of the bad that they used to get away with is starting to now be exposed, even by their own. In every industry there is a jockeying a position for the next, for this administration coming in, for people to try to take a hold and take a grab of whatever the little scraps they can get. Because the identification and the representation of all of the major countries and leadership that's out there is all crumbling and falling because so many are falling apart and just ended up no more. But that's why they're calling for unity right now within all of the people that are, you got all 5 presidents about to show up for Jimmy Carter and all these things because they realized that either side of that turkey, either side of that chicken, they all were cooking. They all were still a part of that dirty ass bird flu bird that's been poisoning all of the people. We just stopped eating y'all. We just stopped eating y'all Colonel Sanders. That's what we stopped doing. We started making our own. We started working on our own and developing our own. We just got tired of the Lady Liberty, We got tired of the Lady Liberty's Kentucky Fried Legs, the Lady Liberty legs. We got tired of the Colonel Sanders thighs and breasts hypnotizing us. Ooh, we see thighs and breasts. No, we're not getting easily fooled no more. Whether it's reparations and tangibles and whatever like that, because honestly, you guys really owe us $9 quadrillion. And that's just being very nice and moderate about that number, but that's the definite number principle that you guys owe in all assets, whether it's money, stocks, bonds, patents. You got to think about all the patents in the land that everybody's been using for years, every day, nonstop for hundreds of years. That's a lot of back money that all of them are more than willing to pay up and cough up. That's just going to require all of their blood, all of their belongings, all of their land, all of their companies, all of everything, your grandchildren, your grandchildren's children. It's very doable. It's very possible. You just got to do it. That's at least a start for you being able to pay for your sins, because your 7 Hail Marys is not going to work anymore. It didn't work then. It's not going to work now. You trying to open up doors and portals. It's not going to work now. Church and state trying to come together and welcome everybody together and all this stuff now, the frantic point in time now, because you're scared under your skin, but you're trying to be strong not to hold it, but it's wearing on you because you look panic and frantic, and then the inflection in your voices is giving off strong indicators of such. So yes, we're starting to see drastic changes, and the changes are already starting at the beginning of this year. It's only been 1 week. I'm not going to leave any stone less unturned, being able to expose all of how all of this is about to fall in the way it is about to fall or change. And so I just wanted to leave out with that. I got all of these tabs. All of these other ones is ones that just is all empty. But I wanted to point out what American crime is going to look like right now. And then the American workforce has to make a pivot now, because they realize on how much they have disregarded and discarded Black folks working. But even then, it ain't never stopped us from filling out the resume to get hired at the news stations. That ain't never stopped us filling out the resume to get hired at any of these companies. We kept chugging along. Now you're starting to see people in these positions of power being able to take heed of these opportunities presented. Whether they're a small entrepreneurial business or they're working at the local, state, and federal levels. But it's good to see that, it's not people that look like me that are getting fired. Matter of fact, we're actually getting hired in a lot of ways. We're getting presented a lot of opportunities in a lot of ways because of what we see from all of our the complete opposite. So I don't want anybody to be alarmed and shook by anything that is out there going on, because it's not really happening to us if you start paying attention to the channel a little bit more. If anybody else who is, a heathen out there, you just accept this truth and know that you're getting it in with love, because I'm a no guy and I love. But know that this love this year is in full judgment swing. And your reputations on how it's presented, on how I'm looking at it right now, you're all on the line. Nobody's exempt. And that judgment is coming fast because Mercury's in the mist. Jupiter, Mars, and Pluto swinging right on around. She coming around the corner. But why all of y'all committing all of these crazy crimes? We saying to y'all that, hey, you just got to go get locked up. You just got to go do your time. But now you want to act like Miss Ginger? No, we're not finna let that.
No, Ginger. You got to go home. You got to get in. Girl, stop. No, I'm going to turn you this way. And you don't be trying to fight. Ginger, what is you doing? Ginger, no. No, Ginger. You got to go home. You got to get in. Girl, stop. No, I'm going to turn you this way. And you don't be trying to fight. Ginger, what is you doing?
Ginger, you can't decapitate somebody's hands and head and have it in your room and think that you ain't finna get in this jail cell. You're gonna have to get in this jail cell, Ginger. Ginger and your ghetto Taco Bell. Those are my two homies right now. I ain't got no real dogs, but these my little dogs. These my dogs, man. These my dogs. They hold me down right now, y'all. But I'm gonna let y'all go. It's midnight here on the West Coast, and I'm gonna get me some shut eye and get y'all set up for the next one, because this one was some late night coffee, strong black, strong black with prime black, strong black with prime black. And thanks to all the beloved family that's around the world that's tuned in and stuff like that. But yeah, we're just gonna keep the party going. We ain't finna let it go. We're finna keep on dancing into this town and dancing around and let this all happen the way it's supposed to be happening, because we are not in it and we're staying out of it as such as we should. And keep your mind on your studies and your studies on your mind. Staying positive and staying clear. And you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right as long as you keep doing what you're supposed to do. And hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he fought the battle of Jericho. Yes. He helped Gilligan get off the island. Yes. Lord.